Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Only a Carpathian would come back to life now and choose New York. Tasty pick. Bonehead.
We were every bit the force. We live, we breathe, we sweat, we paid the price to be the best. Never been about the boys in the office. The boys that have gone out there night in and night out, doing everything they could to be the very best at what they chose to do in their life. Those boys are here tonight.
Well, I must have been away too long because my feelings are dead. I feel no remorse.
I only am who I am because I was born that way. I have a gift, and I am trying to not be selfish about it, but to use it.
My job consists of basically masking my contempt for the assholes in charge. And at least once a day, retiring to the men's room so I can jerk off while I fantasize about a life that doesn't so closely resemble hell.
It's my house, and if you don't like it, get the fuck out.
Grab a dog, I choke him, and I kick the shit out of him. And I all day long, I put up a dog's ass. Just bang up his ass. That's my pleasure.
Go back to bed, America. Your government has figured out how it all transpired. Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control again. Here you go, America. You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you.
Sometimes shit happens. Someone has to deal with it. And who are you going to call?
Oh, you guys like to tell jokes and giggle and kid around, huh? Giggling like a bunch of young pros in a schoolgirl. Well, let me tell a joke.
And boom goes the dynamite.
me, he wouldn't know. Can't be like the rest, it's the most he'll confess. But the time's running out, and there's no happiness. Ooh, Superfly. You're gonna make your fortune bye-bye. But if you lose, don't ask no questions why. The only game you know is do or die. Superfly.
Buddies, it's the Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
Earl, who just won't stop the soul/funk. I don't know what's up to you, but nothing is newer than 30 years old anymore with you.
But there's nothing better than 70s soul.
Yeah.
It always makes everybody feel good.
All right, Ron and Fez show, 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. That's our number. I got a little bit of a head cold today, Fezzy. Not going to lie to you. Summer cold.
I think those are worse than winter colds. I think they are, because you have the heat making you even more miserable with it.
I called my doctor, I explained everything I had. He said anyone else would be in the hospital right now inside an oxygen tent. He goes, I don't know how you do it. He says you've got the strength of 10 men.
You really ought to be a case study. Medical miracle over there.
That's what they're saying, Fez. I know nothing else. Just leave it here, please. Don't fucking drive me crazy, all right? Don't get me furious. I don't know what it is about help, Fez, but they try to take things away from me that don't belong to them, and it's just a bizarre day.
Grabby is what it is. It's downright grabby.
I don't want to have to punch anybody in the spine. But today may be the day. Look at Johnny, pops his head up like M.I.N., because he is ready to put the boots to anybody who's knocked down.
It's nice to have a hired gun like that sitting around at all times. Jerry Falwell, the Reverend Jerry Falwell, says to be recognized in Hollywood, a person almost has to be gay. That's the only way you're going to succeed there.
I know now in radio half the show has to be gay.
I don't think that's a rule.
A rule of thumb.
So Jerry Falwell, now, just assuming that everyone in Hollywood is gay. Anyone who has a hit movie, a TV series, must be gay.
Well, tell me somebody who's not. Give me one name.
Jay Leno?
Thank you.
Steven Spielberg?
No, that guy's definitely gay.
Ron Howard?
Please. Think of those three soft men. Do you honestly don't think they at least have tendencies?
Maybe Jerry Falwell's right. I think we have the good Reverend on tape here.
And don't ever be proud of sin. You know, you almost got to be a homosexual to be recognized in the entertainment industry anymore. Ellen, all the rest. I love them, pray for their souls, but they're immoral. And the Hollywood scene of 5 and 8 and 10 marriages, not something to be emulated.
But you're a fun guy, aren't you, Jerry Falwell? That Hollywood scene. If I was a kid sitting in that church, I'm going, I got to get the fuck out of here. I can't hang around with this guy.
He's still going after Ellen. All these years later, the one name he thinks to bring up is Ellen.
Has she stopped liking pussy?
No, she has not.
That's going to keep her on the list. It's going to keep her on the radar.
Well, at least he's praying for her now.
Howard, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, 1 point for Phoenix's team, working while he's sick, while Fez takes off the bug with a fake heart attack.
It is ironic, isn't it? When Fez has his sickness, he takes time off. Man, I just work through it. It's amazing.
I had a heart attack. I wasn't able to work through it.
Fez, I want you to understand something. This is a head cold. Sinus, it's behind the eyes. I just keep going.
I understand it's painful and annoying, but I was in a hospital in intensive care.
Yeah, exactly. Not me. I keep right on going. Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, good morning, boys.
Yeah.
Listen, Ronnie, if you're going to punch somebody in the spine, please punch Eastside. Get him off the show. There is no way he should be the third mic. And
He's not the third mic. I don't know where this fucking third mic thing came up.
He keeps making it seem like he is. Every time he hears his name or hears something that he might be interested in, he jumps in.
All right, now, see, here's the problem, Jim.
The Ron and Fez show.
I understand.
Later,
you brought up his name, so he's trying to hover around. And I will tell you the truth. He is the guy that I said I was going to punch in the spine. He did come over and attempt to take a paper away from me as I'm doing the show in an annoying fashion and one that had nothing to do with anything. But I hate when people go, I never want you to talk about this again, and then that's the subject that they bring up.
Yeah, when Dave hadn't spoken at all so far today. And didn't even get mentioned as the alleged spine victim.
Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, fellas. Ron, you sound like hell. Hope you feel better, buddy.
Thank you very much.
If you would do me the favor, please replay that Jerry Falwell clip, and if all the audience could imagine a tall Looney Tunes southern rooster.
All right, let's try it again, Fezzy. But now we're going to go for that big rooster from Looney Tunes. What was his name?
Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
And don't ever be proud of sin. You know, you almost got to be a homosexual to be recognized in the entertainment industry anymore. Ellen, all the rest. I love them, pray for their souls, but they're immoral. And the Hollywood scene of 5 and 8 and 10 marriages, not something to be emulated.
Anytime he has to start a sentence with personal pronoun, I say, don't listen to the homosexuals in Hollywood.
Let's hear the other side from the chicken hawk. Let's see what the chicken hawk has to say back to him. You know, I hate when people do the hate the sin, love the sinner. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Just shut up. Say that you hate them because you obviously do. If you're constantly trying to pick them out of a crowd, do not then hide behind the other stuff.
It's like trying to kill someone with kindness there. I'm going to say I'm praying for you. That means I can't stand you.
What am I having trouble with these phones now?
The screen looks weird over here, too.
Yeah.
So.
And this is not even working anymore, where I can't even go to it. Now I lost the whole thing. All right, we got a screen down, Earl. We got the phone down.
Yeah, he'll be in there in a second.
Yesterday, going home on the subway, crazy situation. Subway's really crowded. It's rush hour. People heading home. Train pulls into the station. People trying to get off of this packed car. This man and this woman trying to get off right at the same time. I hear them screaming at each other because they're shoving each other. The guy has like a big shopping bag that the woman shoves out of the way. The guy thinks she's swinging on him. He hauls off and clocks her right in the face.
All right, hold on. Let's go back and go over this. You're on the subway. What happens?
Yeah, I'm there on the platform. I'm waiting for the train to come in so I can get on.
Right.
The train comes in, doors open, people are trying to pile off a crowded subway car.
Mm-hmm.
These two people are bumping and shoving each other, trying to get off at the same time.
Right.
This woman swings and hits this guy's shopping bag out of the way.
On purpose?
Oh, yeah, because he was like dangling in front of her face as they were crushing each other trying to get out. He hauls off, swings at her, and clocks her right in the face.
Closed fist?
Yeah. Yep.
With a closed fist, he punches a woman in the face.
He didn't catch her full on, but he closed the fist and swung sideways at her and caught her right around like the eye socket.
I would call that full on, Fez. So you're standing there, you see a grown man, how old?
I would say he was probably about 55. And the woman, I would say probably about 35.
White people?
He was white, a white older guy. She was Hispanic.
All right, so this white guy punches a Hispanic woman in the face.
Right in the face. And she stops there. She's stunned for a second. The entire crowd on the platform give a collective, oh! And she starts swinging on him.
Nice.
And now he's not swinging back anymore. She's chasing him around the subway platform. He's trying to get away from her because she will not quit hitting him. And he heads up the escalator. She is chasing him and just punching him full on in the back of his bald head and screaming at him, "You want to hit me, bitch? You want to hit me, bitch?" The whole way, chased him up the escalator.
Wow.
It was one of the more amazing things I've seen in New York City.
No, you didn't feel the need to hop in? Because I'd have third-railed the son of a bitch. If I'm sitting there and I see a man punch a woman right in the eye for no fucking reason, basically, I think I would have to third rail him.
It was amazing how quickly it spilled out of the car onto the platform and up the escalator. I mean, because once he realized what he had done and that he was in a fight he was going to lose, he was trying to get out of there ASAP.
Sure. Well, it's a great story, Fez.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's seen a woman beat up a man before, but it was one of the more incredible things. I was so excited to see it.
Well, sure, some of us have been married in the past. We've all been through that type of thing. I had a weird day yesterday, too. I tried to leave my building, can't go, bomb scare. Like, I live in Beirut, somebody on a bicycle, they leave the bike on the corner, there's a suspicious package, the cops tell us, and everybody had to get off the streets.
Oh, man, that's frightening, because you don't know when the suspicious package is just a package or it's the real thing anymore.
I would say, and with myself and all my neighbors, no one was frightened. We were only annoyed with the police. And the police are going like this, "No one use your cell phone." These women are like, I got to fucking call home and tell them I'm not coming. They would not listen to the cops. Nobody would listen. Everybody was telling the cops, it's nothing. It's probably a box from a delivery guy. Nobody would pay attention to the cops.
That's the one thing about safety procedures. They really interrupt your everyday schedule.
Well,
people hate that.
It's not like we were on a plane or this was a subway station. Any of this stuff that you would expect. It was a real Beirut situation of just being there on the street. And nobody would give in, even for a second. Hey, John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Fez, I thought girls were supposed to stay together. Why didn't you stick up for that lady on the subway?
That woman...
That would have been a better story, Fez, if it would have closed out with that.
That woman needed no sticking up for whatsoever. If anything, this guy needed her pulled off of him by the time she was done with him.
Hey, Kind Bud, you're on Ron and Fez.
What up, the boys?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I was just wondering, is Stan's writing a book called I Hope There's Beer in Hell? Sounds like one of those stories from the other morning. And by the way, Dave looks like a clown ghost.
Hey, Kind Bud, you're an awful fucking caller, just to get that out of the way. No one knows what the hell you're talking about. On any real system of trying to figure out what callers to put up or not, you never would have made it in. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, tell Fezzy not to worry too much about that shit. Some Puerto Rican girls can really take a punch.
This one apparently could and came back. She was like Roberto Duran. She takes a shot in the eye, she comes up smiling, and then here comes Hands of Stone.
She couldn't wait to start kicking his ass. Once she got her balance back from getting hit in the eye, she couldn't wait to start fighting him. It was almost like there was a glee in her eye as she was attacking this older man.
Well, Fez, it's about that time in the show again where we play a little game I like to call Fez, Can You Guess the Caller?
Okay.
Now, if you pull this one off, you'll be the champion. But if the caller can stump you, Fez, then the caller is the champion.
All right, fair enough.
All right, mystery caller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, hello, mystery caller.
Hello there.
Yeah. Give Fez a little clue who you are, mystery caller.
It starts soup. It starts with soup.
Starts with soup.
Starts with soup.
Yes.
Is it Soupy Sales?
No, nope.
All right.
It starts with soup, and it's super.
Supa, and that's all you're going to find out right now. 2 down, back to, now you have to make another guess, Fez.
All right, is it Superman?
No.
In theaters everywhere now. Superman.
It's Superstar.
All right, Fez, I want you to step and try to think for a moment. We do have a mystery guess. We've given you 2 clues, Super and Star.
Okay, is it Star Jones by any chance?
No.
All right, let me ask the mystery caller something.
Yes.
Do you like football?
Yes, I do.
All right, he does like football. All right.
And we used to play good, no good.
Yes, good, no good. Do you remember that game at all, Fez?
I remember playing good or no good.
Yeah.
And the clues are super,
yes,
star, and
yes,
really likes football.
Yes.
Could it be Superstar?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
How you guys doing?
Yeah. We're doing great, buddy. I heard you're retiring.
Yes, I am. We're having a big party right here at 10-10 Wins right now.
You're at 10-10 Wins, and you're celebrating.
My going away party.
And what's next for you, Superstar?
What's next for me?
Yeah.
Just gonna sit down and relax.
Sit down and relax for the rest of your life.
No, I'm gonna get a part-time job probably somewhere.
Where are you moving to?
Sebastian, Florida.
All right, Sebastian, Florida. Sebastian's Inlet in
yeah. It's like about 15 minutes away from Vero Beach.
Oh yeah, very nice. And that's Dodger Town.
Yes, it is. And Port St. Lucie is like an hour and a half away.
All right, Mets time.
Yep.
Superstar, over your career, what's been the highlight for you?
Everything.
Everything's been good.
Yes.
Yeah. How long have you worked in radio, buddy?
I've been in radio 27 years.
27 years.
Yep.
And you loved every minute of it.
Yes.
Never a bad day.
Yes, I did. Hello. Yes, I did.
He's greeting fans as we speak.
Everybody's stopping by to see you, huh?
Yes, they are, Ron and Fez.
When's your last day?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow's your last day.
Yes, it is.
Are we still going to be able to talk to you when you get to Florida? Will you stay in touch?
Yeah, I got numbers down there.
Good. That would be perfect.
772.
All right, no, don't say it now. Not on the air.
No, I'm giving it to you.
Yeah, but we're on the air, so...
yeah. I'll call you tomorrow.
Right. What I'll do is I'll have Earl check in with you, okay?
Have Earl check in with Aaron.
Yeah. You check in with Aaron, Earl.
Yep.
All right, let's just try to play good, no good real quick, all right?
Yes.
Eating a turkey sandwich.
Good.
All right. Eating a baby sandwich.
No good.
Why? Why is that no good?
Because you can't eat a baby.
Oh. Well, if you bit hard enough, you could.
No, you couldn't.
Oh, okay. Well, this is going to be great. Are you giving away free TVs? The free O&A TVs?
No.
This is the way of celebrating?
No, we're never celebrating, but we're not giving away free TVs.
Oh, that's too bad.
Did you get a nice cake and everything?
Yes, I did.
All right. Who was over your 27-year career in radio?
Yes.
Who was the biggest celebrity you ever met?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal. He is the biggest.
Yes.
Literally.
And you guys that live in Tampa, like you and Fezzy.
Right. That's right. We lived in Tampa.
Yep.
And give me, who was a celebrity that you met that you really didn't care about?
There's a few of them, but I can't give you all their names.
You don't want to give out their names?
No.
Yeah. Who was the prettiest girl you've ever met over your 27 years?
There was a few of them. Nurse Myra was one of them.
Oh, yeah, Nurse Myra. I remember her.
She liked you, Superstar.
Yeah.
Yep, I know she did, Fezzy. And I miss Fezzy, and I miss you.
I miss you too, buddy.
Yep.
Well, you know what? Maybe someday we'll all hook up in Florida, Superstar.
Yes, you may.
All right, my pal.
Okay.
Godspeed. You take care of yourself.
Same to you, Ron and Fez.
All right, 27 years in radio, Fez.
Yes.
He's retiring.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye, pal.
Bye. Bye.
All right, say it.
Next stop, Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
Still there.
Earl the Superstar. You going to miss him?
Oh, who doesn't love the Superstar?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll talk to you guys when I get down to Florida.
Oh, that'll be great. Yep. Earl, what's your favorite time with Superstar? What's your favorite memory?
What's your favorite memory? You don't have one.
No, it's not hanging up. Earl, you want to answer? You got any opinions?
I don't even have an opinion.
I know you don't, buddy.
No, we used to love when he used to play ball. He was the third base coach. He waved everybody home.
Is that right, Superstar?
Yes.
You were the third base coach?
Yes.
Yeah. And you just had the windmill going, huh?
Yes.
Sending everybody home.
Yep.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Right, there goes the Superstar.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Superstar.
Bye, guys.
He was something, wasn't he, Fez?
He was great. You know, 27 years in radio.
Uh-huh.
Superstar's one of those guys everybody liked. Everybody liked him.
Everybody liked him. Yeah. Everybody was crazy about Superstar.
Okay, and I'll talk to you guys when I'll have him talk to you guys when he gets back to work next week.
Oh, that's terrific, Superstar.
Okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Fez, when you talk about the Superstar over the years, though, all the different shows he's come on, he's really done a great job.
He has done a great job.
Fez.
What?
Okay.
It's that positive
Okay. Yes,
attitude.
they need me, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye, superstar.
Bye. And keep in touch with Ron and Fez. Aaron.
All right, I will do that. Bye-bye, superstar.
Bye.
There he goes.
All right.
That's the superstar, Fez.
27 years in the radio business.
He's a good guy.
Who the hell is Aaron?
Aaron is his secretary.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that works at Wins. He looks out for him.
Yeah. He takes care of all of his stuff. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I was just going back to the platform. If it was a white girl, she wouldn't have done shit.
She wouldn't have been able to fight back?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Spanish girl, black girl, forget about it.
I tell you, anybody who punches a Spanish girl is out of his fucking mind. That is just not a move that you make.
Yeah, I don't think a white girl would have even swung at the shopping bag in the first place, which seemed to set off the whole thing.
Well, now we're getting into full racism, where you're saying she started it. And a white girl would never try to take care of her own space. Clint, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Fez, I'm glad you witnessed that, but you're right. A white girl would have been down for the count, and then this would have been a disaster. The Spanish girls are like the black people. They got real hard heads, and it doesn't hurt them.
All right, Earl, does that infuriate you a little bit?
Yeah, it's a huge
No, you know that's true. I mean, you can't hurt a brother by hitting him in the head.
All right, thank you. Where are you calling from, Clint?
Los Angeles.
All right, so I understand.
Hey, Fez, I got a question for you. What happened to your girlfriend in Canada?
My fiancé in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, we decided that a long-distance relationship just wasn't going to work out after all these years.
It's just one of those bits that run out of steam, pretty much like everything that we try to do. Hey, speaking of which, where's Kathleen and Bri? Bri, have you tried to call them yet?
No, I haven't, but I will in a moment. They should have been here already. But
right.
I'll
Well, this is the moment.
with them.
This is the moment. Have Dave try to get a hold of them. It's Kathleen from the BX's birthday. She was going to hang out with us today. Here's Eric. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Fezzi, when he witnessed this beating, before she went into battle mode, did she say, "Oh, no, you didn't"? See ya!
No, we didn't get that stereotypical line. But her mantra became, "You want to hit me, bitch?" And then she kept giving him more reasons to hit her, as she was just clubbing this old guy.
Stephanie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Yeah, I'm a white girl. I just want to make a comment to the last guy. If he was on the platform, I'd beat his ass.
So you're a white girl that would love to fight back?
Yeah, of course I would. You think I'm going to stand up and let some stupid ass hit me?
I like the attitude, Fez.
That's total crap.
It's good to know that someone would have stuck up for herself.
Hell yeah, I'm from Jersey City, you know what I mean? I'm not going to take any shit on the platform.
Wait a minute, I thought you said you were a white girl.
Well, of course I'm a white girl.
Wait a minute, are you a white girl or are you from Jersey City? I'm very, very confused. I really...
Yeah, I'm
this
definitely
is one
the
crazy
minority
story.
in Jersey City, I'll tell you that.
I understood the Superstar one a little bit easier than this. Here is Paul. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, I was going to say, white girls don't fight back on the subway. Look at Dave with his Pepsi.
Oh, yeah, that's true. This is a braver story than Dave. Dave had a Pepsi taken off him and cried for a couple of days. And then eventually, Dave, you were acting like you weren't even going to use the subway anymore.
Yeah, I've steered clear from that. But, I try to...
Steered clear from what?
From the subway, I've gotten rides from Claire if she stays over. She drives me over the 59th Street Bridge. It's not a safe place.
The 59th Street Bridge or the subway?
The subway is just full of, homeless people and people with knives. And I mean, look at this story the other day. A guy was stabbing people left and right the other day. Did you hear about that news story?
No.
Okay. There was a man caught the other day after a 12-hour subway stabbing spree right here in New York City. So it happened like a couple days after.
Boy, what a shocker.
Well, I'm just saying, you got to steer clear from that stuff. So.
It could have been you. You were so close to being stabbed.
It was like 12 hours after me.
Scott, you're around Fez.
Hi, guys. I want to test that theory about the white women. Bring BL in there, let Dave clock her, and see if he can't get his teeth knocked out.
Let's test white women. Here comes Kathleen from the Bronx. We'll see if Dave hits her and see if she doesn't get hit back. How you doing, Kathleen, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Hi.
Is it a big birthday for you?
It is. I'm 29 today.
29.
Congratulations.
29. Bri, you thinking about dumping her, or what's the story?
Nah.
Still not ready?
Not ready.
You've only been married once. God, this is almost shocking to me. Almost shocking. You too? Only married once?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. That's going to be it for you.
Yeah.
First time it worked for you.
That's the end.
Now I look around here and nobody else has ever even been married. It's really shocking when I look at this show. You've got the lonely guys, Fez and Earl. Dave, who can't get anything together. How you doing, Elo?
I'm good, baby. How we doing?
Any word from BL yet? She calls constantly, thinking that she wants to do something with you.
Yeah, the sport chicks, they died a horrible death, didn't they?
Yeah, it was hideous.
It was like Hispanic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it went very, very quick. How's everything with you?
Good. I'm up here, making the rounds and trying to keep peace in the family. I feel like the Godfather. And
who's fighting? Give us everybody who's fighting.
Well, I got people suing us.
Uh-huh.
That's always a problem.
Oh, it never works out.
Never works out.
Isn't it amazing how little trouble you get from me and Fez? Isn't it just astounding?
Well, it's almost embarrassing, to be honest with you, because it's sort of like I'm so used to constantly getting yelled at and screamed at by fans, by pests, by whatever.
Right.
And when you guys came to D.C., of course, we took a ration of...
shit?
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to swear, though I can say fuck.
Okay.
Right. So, get the phone calls from everybody who's like, oh my God, I can't believe these guys are coming in.
Right.
And then we had all the Ron and Fez ites, I guess it was.
Yeah.
The DC ites, which was terrific.
Right.
And the looks on the faces of them when they showed up was great. And you guys left, and it was like better than it was. So I think you should come back.
You know what? It's really, I was telling this to Fez, it's hard to believe our amount of talent with this amount of humility. It's not seen in this business. It's absolutely not seen.
Yeah, other than Superstar, you really don't find that.
Yeah, that's true. Us and Superstar. So no big news for XM?
We just made a big announcement.
Yeah.
I mean, just came across the wire.
Okay.
We just signed Willie Nelson.
Really?
And we have a channel called Hank's Place, which is 13.
Right.
And Willie is the new proprietor of Hank's Place, and he's going to reprogram it. It's going to become Willie's Place.
So Hank done. Willie's Place.
Willie's Place.
And he's going to program. He's going to be on the air with us?
He's going to program. He's going to be on the air. He's going to play songs, whatever. So
there you go, Fez.
Do you have any trouble breaking it to Hank?
He was dead.
Yeah, Hank's been dead. Hank Jr., Hank the Third, but
yeah, they're all.
There we go.
Another lawsuit.
Yeah, there we go.
Hank the Fourth. Now he's all pissed off. Want to know what happened?
So you heading back to D.C. now? Or
yeah, heading back to D.C. tomorrow morning.
Nice.
So I'm going to go see other people, other things. Got channels launching and.
So this is just a quick massage for Ron and Fez. How you guys doing?
Yeah,
everything's going great.
Fine. You guys don't.
I don't listen, but from what I hear, you're doing great.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true.
My people tell me everything's fantastic.
Boy, there's a lot of people trying to get hold of me here.
Yeah.
They're just going to have to wait. Don't they know I'm on the air with Ron and Fez?
Right. Right now, Wiki's next to the phone going, don't bring my name up. Please don't bring my name up.
What a disaster he is.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, the outfits alone.
Yeah. It's horrible. He's a very challenged man.
And yet you keep him. That's the beauty of it.
Well, I do discriminate. I think that, we try to help people along. Look, we hired Black Earl.
Right, exactly. When I saw that happen, I go, the Fez will never get fired. This is one place we will never get fired. Any luck now, any talk about Black Rock Coalition with Earl? Because he talks about it all the time.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Not going to happen for you, Earl?
No. I mean, again, did you actually hear the demo he made?
No.
I told you about this.
Yeah.
It was the worst demo in the history of radio.
The worst you've ever heard?
And I've heard a lot.
No, what was the problem with it?
Well, hold on. Who is this? Let's see. Hello? Hello? Now they hang up.
Sure.
What a prick.
It's Donald Trump.
Yeah. Sorry, Donald. Come back. No, here was the problem. It was a demo for the Black Rock. Now, I really didn't get the whole Black Rock thing because there was like no setup. It was like a disc. It apparently is about black musicians.
Yeah.
I think was the theme.
Right.
You had to guess, though. And what it was he would talk like 4 or 5 seconds in front of a song, and then he'd play like 3 or 4 songs.
I see.
So I'm listening to like this guy's iPod, and then it's sort of like a couple intros.
All right, Earl, now you've been in radio yourself also 27 years, much like Superstar. You don't know how to put together a demo?
Well, basically, I was instructed. He's like, give me a sample of what. He's like, give me an hour of what the show would sound like.
Right.
And when I made the demo, I attached a note saying it's very raw. It's pretty much, there was no production to it. It was extremely raw, and I said it was extremely raw.
Right, but why would you say? I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I get probably, no lie, 10 to 15 demos a day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And I've got nothing but time on my hands just to sit around and listen to stuff.
And nothing stood out for you? Nothing made you feel like, boy, this grabs me?
No.
And out of the tens of thousands of air checks you probably listened to over your career, Earl's was the worst?
The worst of all time?
I have actually got on my desk college radio air checks from the University of Iowa, Brown University, and a couple other things as well. I'll send you those. Those are compelling. They have storylines, they have production value, they make some really good points.
They feel like they want to be in this business, where Earl, on the other hand, just went, here's some songs.
Try to back into it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
All right, Earl, are you done now? Have you given up on the dream, or are you going to try again?
I'm always going to keep trying again. You got to keep plugging away in this business.
You know what I want to do with the Black Rock show? Add some Asians. Why don't you look into this? You add some Asians. So it's more minority rock than anything else.
That's right.
Yeah.
Less Caucasian rock.
Yeah, it's no white rock.
It's called no honky.
Yeah. Earl, any chance?
And black and Asian, everyone loves that combination. It's always a winning combination.
But the real question is how the Bucks going to be.
What do you think this year?
I like her.
You feeling strong this year?
Absolutely.
Elo's the only person that really follows the Bucks like we do. We get stuck in the Hooters on 56th Street here every week because you can't get a dish in New York City, at least not my building or Fez's building.
It's horrible.
So we go over and watch every game with all the Hooters folks. And last year, I thought we played above our heads. I was not,
without question.
Yeah, I was not unhappy with
Chris Sims was out of his mind.
Yeah. Who's going to quarterback this year?
It's going to be Sims.
Yeah.
It's his team. I mean, they have to go into the season with him.
So. And you feel like he's going to be decent?
Absolutely.
Now, this is a team that you traveled with right up until
4 years.
Yeah, right up until they won the championship.
I left the year they won the Super Bowl. And in fact, our good friend Ronnie Lane, you know, actually I was with him at
the night train.
The train. The train's walking around with his Super Bowl ring.
No, they give him a Super Bowl ring.
Ronnie Lane has a Super Bowl ring. Do you know that?
No. That really annoys me.
No.
That ticks me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's gigantic. Have you seen him?
Of course it is.
It's gigantic. Now, what it was, it's a funny story. He got his ring, and the Glazers gave the people on the broadcast like a ghetto ring. They gave him the same mold, gold with no diamonds. So it was just sort of like a shell ring.
Yeah.
So you know what he does? He goes and actually gets all the diamonds put in it. So he's actually got now a legitimate diamond player Super Bowl ring. But it is an actual Super Bowl ring. He went to the ring ceremony with the team when they handed them out.
That annoys me.
And they gave it to him.
Yeah.
We were walking around the final round of the Booz Allen down at Avenel, and he's walking around wearing his ring. And everywhere we go, here's this tall black guy who has about as much athletic ability as this bottle of aspirin here. And like, is that a Super Bowl ring? And people go, yeah. And he goes, I knew it. And he goes, the guy's like, congratulations. And Ronnie's like, thank you. Thank you. And then, of course, he goes, well, I was on the broadcast team. I'm like, why would you say that?
Right. And then I did overnights at Q105. You're not going to impress anybody. Just let the ring talk for itself.
What's next? He gets a yellow jacket and goes into the Football Hall of Fame?
He's going to go to the Football Hall. Now, you heard Brantley's out at the broadcast.
No, I had no idea.
He's not on the Buck broadcast.
What's he doing? Selling water again?
Yeah.
Back to that deal? You want to buy water? I get it right out of the spigot. Why am I buying water for you?
They signed Hardy Nickerson. It's going to be Gino and Hardy.
Yeah, see, that's the problem now. There's just start to be some history to that team because Brantley was, you know, the only history for a long time.
Yeah, because they couldn't get Spurrier because he was busy.
Right.
No, but it's going to be Hardy, Nickerson, and Deckerhoff.
Time in Tampa for Brantley to take off.
Tampa time is 4:15 Tampa time.
I Scott Brantley.
Somebody said he's doing a morning show on some station in Tampa, like 1470, which has got to be some sort of illegal pirate station in Ocala somewhere, I think.
But then they get Hooters to buy time, so that's you know, it's the same thing that kept BL on for years.
It was so funny because I ran that station for a while, and I would sit in these meetings and be like, "What are we doing? What are we doing?" And it's just like, well, unfortunately, Hooters on the radio is the only revenue we had on the entire station because people would call and go, "Why do you keep this show on the air?" And if I would
Joe Coors or something always throw money towards that too.
The second we were getting ready to pull it, BL make a couple phone calls and a check for a couple $100,000 would show up. Like also we make our revenue. But you know that's how I met my wife.
Yeah.
Because my wife was one of the side dishes or whatever it was. That's how I met my wife.
On Hooters
from that show.
Yeah. And actually, BL, believe it or not, BL, this is a true story. BL is the godmother of my daughter.
That's insane. Seriously. That's the worst. That holds no legal thing at all, right?
No.
There's no way of, like, you go down in a plane, your wife's with you, that BL suddenly shows up and picks up that
Title
kid.
only. She's been written out of the will.
It would have to be.
Well, because you got to cut her middle finger off in order to do that.
No, she's not going to be with her man anymore. She called us the other day.
Oh,
That's
really?
over. Yeah.
That's over.
The show gets canceled. The man's out of there. It's Star Jones, but on a real low redneck angle.
She has to take herself back down to her double wide basics. Down to her trailer mentality.
Sort of a reset, right?
Exactly. She resets everything in her life.
Yeah.
Who's the Godfather? Night Train Lane? He seems to get everything.
No, actually, Collada. You know Mike Collada.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Collada's the Godfather, actually.
So you're staying married?
Well, that's the plan, at least right now.
See, there you go.
There you
Everybody's
go.
staying married.
It's a very happy time to stay married. And then Tina, what happened with her? She's like out of her mind?
I don't know. She was up here, right?
Tina didn't make it up here.
I don't know who's who. Besides, I know Lynn.
What was the Lynn? Who was the other one? It was Lynn. We all knew Lynn. She's insane.
Yeah.
And then who was the other one? It was BL. And who was the other one?
Heather.
Yeah.
Wow.
And who's the one they started with, though? That was very hot, and then...
That was Julie Williams, who was used to date athletes.
Right. Who in that show has not dated an athlete?
That's true. That is absolutely true. Every one of them is somebody.
One of the interesting things is Tina, the girl you brought up, she at one point dated Dutch Dalton from the Phillies while he was still married to Lynn Austin.
I did not know this story.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No. This is why Dutch started traveling backwards through time. Did you see that HBO series when he did that? It was just amazing. Earl, we got to get Dutch on the phone.
Yeah, we can track down Dutch.
He's a really good guy, too.
Which dimension do we call?
It doesn't matter. Wherever he is, I'm going to leave. You know what? Here's the thing. If we were thrown the name Jesus in, everybody would have backed him up. But you forget to mention Jesus, and you're crazy. But you could say, Jesus came and took me back in time, and people would have been crying and clapping for him.
The problem with Dutch was, in that interview, he said, I talked to lizards instead of Christ.
Right. That's the big problem. If you're going to see an imaginary person, make it Jesus. That's the way to go.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
With all kidding aside, should we find a great maybe is the Jets or the Giants playing down at Ray J this year? I don't even know.
I know the Giants are on the schedule, but I don't know where the game is.
Yeah, so we should look and find out if there's like a Friday. You know, we just go to the old stomping ground and go to Hooters on Hillsborough.
Right.
Just go plug in,
put it together,
do a show Friday afternoon from Tampa. Right before a Bucks game, go to the Bucks game, roll out, come back, New York.
I would love to. My only problem is that there's so many lawsuits against me down there that I have to really, we can't announce it in advance. I got to be in and out.
Surgical strike.
Yeah.
It'll be a Black Rock Coalition.
Earl, that would be perfect.
You like that?
They'll love you at a Florida Hooters.
Black Rock road trip.
Yeah. Earl, have you ever been to Tampa, Florida?
No, I've never been. I've never been south of, what was it, Winona, Mississippi. That's as far south as I've gone.
Wow.
Or was that back to see your grandma's grave? What were you doing down there, Earl? You go to the crossroads? Was that the deal?
No, I did not go there to reclaim my soul. No, we went there. I even forgot why we went there. It was one of the O&A things. We went down there to, I think, see WONA. We visited that station down there.
Well, what we'll do, we'll see if the Bucks are winning before we pull this off. But we'll go down. Did you go to Ed Drosty's wedding?
Yeah. No, I heard it was insane, though.
Yeah, we got a stupid invite to it. It just looked like trouble, you know?
Look like trouble. I can assure you it's trouble.
And now, even hearing from those guys, it's like hearing from your high school buddies that you can't believe are alive. You're like, Jesus, he's still partying. He's still doing that same gimmick.
He's insane.
Yeah.
He's insane.
He still wants to take the boat out, stinking drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
situations.
He married a fetus that is so attractive. He married the youngest possible girl that he could find.
It's the Tampa version of oh God, slap me! I just fucked it up.
I have no idea where you're going.
What was the girl that married the diet girl, Anna Nicole Smith?
Oh yeah, it really is.
What an ass! I can't say it on a zero.
It's hard on this show.
I know,
but it is true. And for some reason in Florida, nobody looks down on that like the rest of the country. You're always seeing old guys with really young girls, and everybody's going, "Oh, that's really nice."
That's very really nice. Adorable. They're taking care of them.
Yeah, you can really live like a pirate there.
And this girl isn't old enough to remember the Bucks winning the Super Bowl.
Never. No.
She's already
forgotten that.
Yeah,
very young.
I've always, speaking of the Pirates thing, I mean the whole Gasparilla thing.
Yeah,
I mean that's what we got to do.
Gasparilla would be perfect.
We got to figure out, and we can do this. We got to figure out how to do the Ron and Fez show from the Gasparilla Float Parade, and we just get on one of the floats or something.
I just feel like this is 89 and you're Kerry Kurlap, and it's just, these were, next I know.
Is this the one? Hey, I got a great idea. Let's go out to Gators on the Pass and do a volleyball game.
We'll be doing the Strawberry Festival and everything I fucking tried to get away from for years.
I got flashbacks to QYK in my head. It's like, oh.
What did you do? Open your QYK promotional files?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just trying to think what would be fun. I mean, it's like, it would be, the Gasparilla thing, because you said pirates, and it's like, it's always amazed me that they take this whole pirate thing and kids, and it's like the whole story and celebration at Gasparilla, these pirates who raided the city, burned the city down, raped all these women, and left. And now we throw a huge parade and throw out beads and get kids dress up as pirates.
It really is insane. It's almost like when you look at the Puerto Rican Day Parade here. It's almost the same gimmick.
A celebration of sexual assault. Oh, we got to do Guavaween, too, while you're at it.
Mama Guava's scheduled to do your show.
The Mama Guava stumble.
Horrible idea.
Yeah, everything's so bad. And we were into every one of them for years.
Oh, God.
When did you start down there in Tampa?
I was there 98.
98,
yeah. I was there 98, and then I left, and I went to Chicago. And I left there about 5 years. So I had the house out at the beach and the whole 9 yards.
You live that life for a while, and then there's nothing like it, man, when you start to live on the beach and start to do that whole scene.
Yeah, Indian Rocks was out there, and you just drive into Pinellas County, and where Q105 was where we were. So we just drove right over to Howard Franklin, and we were there.
Yeah. Fez gonna have a lot of fun today. We got a guest coming up in just a few moments. He's gonna be hanging with us. One of the great chefs.
Great chef, best-selling author. He's got a brand new book out called The Nasty Bits. Anthony Bourdain is going to be
Anthony Bourdain's here.
Wow.
And hopefully we'll be talking a little food. What's next for you, Elo?
In terms of my career path?
Yeah.
I really don't know.
You're going to ride this thing out? You really believe in the satellite radio?
Well, I believe. Now, the question is, do they want me to ride it out? It's a different issue, as we all know.
Right.
But no, absolutely.
Always.
No, it's great. No, things are terrific. I mean, we're in a little tough patch right now. Few issues we're handling out, but it's going to be fine. New devices are selling great. The NOs, the Helixes, and everything. So we're doing great. I have no problems. I'm not going anywhere soon.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Ron and Fez.
All right. Go Bucks.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.
All right, it's the Ron and Fez show. One of our all-time favorite writers, TV host, and all-around traveling guys here.
Anthony Bourdain is in the studio with us. You know him as the host of No Reservations on the Travel Channel, of course, best-selling author of Kitchen Confidential, and his new book is The Nasty Bits, in stores now.
What's happening, pal?
I just got off a book tour. Actually, I had a magical experience. I was on a show out in Los Angeles. I got to sit on a couch next to Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, is that right?
And we bonded because we both like eating bat, and we both had bad ATV accidents.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know the one on your show, and then he had one on his reality
His was
show.
much worse. He's really nice. He grabbed my hand, sort of rubbed it along his collarbone so I could feel it. It's like a box of broken Triscuits in there.
Now, what show was that?
New Zealand. What show I was on? Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, Jimmy Kimmel, the TV show, or is he doing radio again? All right, so that was cool for you, right?
Oh,
You grew up an Ozzy guy?
Important. First Black Sabbath album, important moment in my life.
That is the same thing here, man. The whole Bloody Sabbath deal. For you now, and it's really weird for people that aren't aware of you. You cooked for many, many years. You're writing on the side. One of the books blew up, and that changed your whole life.
Yeah, I mean, I was standing in a kitchen for 30 years, and then I wrote an obnoxious memoir called Kitchen Confidential, and kind of woke up the next day, and people were offering me money to just misbehave,
No matter what, you never saw this one coming either, right?
Absolutely not. I wrote the book thinking, a few cooks in the New York area would read it. And, 6 years ago, I was standing there next to the fry station, doing steak frite. A few weeks ago, I was in a military helicopter flying over the interior of Ghana, over the jungle. I had the doors open, and I had my iPod on listening to the soundtrack from Apocalypse Now. Come on. Life is sweet.
And it seems to me, in your life, you turn nothing down, too. It seems like whatever it is with food, adventure, you just...
I turned Tucker Carlson down.
You didn't want to do that show.
Yeah, because we, we were going to go on and talk about foie gras, and I suspect he agrees with me, and I don't ever want to be seen agreeing with that guy. Let's never appear next to a man with a bow tie. I think this is kind of one of those.
Foie gras has become a big thing now too. That is even the Congress getting involved in this, or there's laws being passed.
They made it illegal in Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
And I think sooner or later it's going to be gone. I mean, enjoy your foie now, because it'll all be over.
It's one of those things that's really tasty, but you don't want to know what happens on the way there.
Sign of the times is that Whole Foods is removing lobsters from their supermarkets because they're concerned about, cruelty to them. And they're looking hard, they say, at their clam and soft-shell crab, the issues related to that, too. I mean, man, there's a lot of cruelty in this world. We're worried about freaking mollusks.
Right, that's true. But and with all those things, they've got to be prepared live, right? There's no way around it. I mean,
well, you do want a live lobster.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be happy to gather up some dead lobsters. No, they've got to be live.
They've got to be live every time. And now we're worried that they feel pain and it goes back and forth.
It's a clam, man.
I remember my grandmother would just grab them on the beach in Jersey and just pop something right into her mouth. She would just break it open and suck it down. And we'd be walking along, and I'm like, please, be cool with this a little bit. Wouldn't matter to her.
That's the way to go.
Coquinas down in Florida, the same thing. Just pop them up and start eating them. All right, the book here, The Nasty Bits, this is like a bunch of different stories that you put together from different stuff? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I've been writing since Kitchen Confidential, particularly in the few years right after I thought, man, this whole scam is not going to last, so I better take as much work as I can. So I was writing for a lot of papers in Australia and Britain, a lot of magazines. So, over time I was writing a lot of essays about my travels and things that just, angered me or that I was passionate about. Right. And sold them to magazines, and this is a collection of mostly those pieces.
And some of the stuff about food, some just experiences, some just kind of rants that you're into?
Anything from how great it is to be alive and eat in Singapore or China to how much I deeply hate and despise the idea of Woody Harrelson.
You just don't like his, what is it, the raw food angle that he has?
Just how anyone could go to Thailand and sit there and eat the same raw salad every day, and one of the most, it's just like sitting in the middle of God's buffet, surrounded by this incredible culture, and to sit there, chawing on raw papaya salad every day. Just curiosity is a virtue. To be a lunkhead just sitting there, I know better than the rest of the world, it just seems impolite.
You do have somewhat of a hedonistic outlook that you want to physically experience stuff.
Yeah, I think, chefs are in the pleasure business. It's no accident that most chefs you meet, tend to have appetites beyond just food.
Now, here's an interesting thing, too. I didn't know whether you saw this. The guy who invented the Dodger dog passed away. This is the hot dog that sells more than any other hot dog at any ballpark, and it has for probably 40, 50 years now.
Really?
Are you a hot dog guy? Do you like even simple stuff like that you like?
I like, good New York Papaya King dog or a Chicago Red Hot. I do like those.
Yeah, I'm a dog fan too. What about you, Fez?
Yeah, I love it. There's some days when you're walking down the street, you can't resist that hot dog stand.
Oh, that's dirty water dogs.
Dirty water dog is the
dirty water. Yeah,
touch me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
love that dirty water.
You know what I like about it too? It's the right size. So you're not really. It's not a meal. It's never going to be thrown in as a meal. It's like 4 or 5 bites, and you keep on walking. You feel decent about yourself.
It's a particularly New York skill to walk in with a slice of pizza or a hot dog, with a lot of sauerkraut on your dog without getting it on your shoes. That takes talent. Training and says New York.
Now, a lot of things too in New York pizza changes all the time. You ever tried Two Boots?
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But everything, it seems like we're at a place now. I don't know whether it's a fusion, but a lot of foods are changing from where they were even like 5-10 years ago.
I do not want pineapple on my pizza. Okay,
Nope.
that's just fundamentally wrong, and there should probably be some kind of legal penalty for either cooking or eating that.
Have you seen this place? I think it's WD50 in the Village, where they're doing all kinds of, almost it seems like experiments. I guess in Chicago.
There's a
lot
guy
of
also, Grant Achatz at Alinea. I get a lot of respect for those guys. I mean, that's what they're about. They're doing very forward-thinking, trying a lot of new ideas. It's very risky. I mean, a lot of that stuff sometimes doesn't work.
Right.
You know, that's a daring business model to say we're going to do things that are completely new, even frightening to some people. I admire them.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I saw on a CBS Morning the other day, they're using chemicals, and then when you're done with the menu, you eat the menu. It was absolutely bizarre. Chicago seems like a lot of the food stuff is blowing up there, too.
Yeah, it's really sad, because right when they're on the cusp of becoming a huge international food destination, they do something as lunkheaded as remove foie gras from their menus. And it's like tying an arm behind every chef's back. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
No, one of the shows that I remember saying, and you write about this in your book, too, is when you went to Vegas.
Yeah.
And a lot of food blowing up there, a lot of things happening.
Well, you know what happens when, great chefs reach a point in their career where they figure, I want to cash out, I want to make some money, I want to take care of, my home team. So they open up, they're offered a lot of bread, they make it very easy to go out there and open these Vegas versions of the restaurants. I was surprised to see how good they were, that they didn't just take the money and open up some knockoff.
Mm-hmm.
Still, when you're sitting in a restaurant and you're having a really fine meal, looking through the smoke glass and, seeing some old lady with a respirator being dragged away from the, the one-armed bandit by security, that's kind of like not conducive to fine dining.
Right.
And her visor and culottes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they used to go a long way with that $5 steak out there and all. And most of the time when I would go out, those buffets were not even worth the $5 that they would throw.
Oh, yeah. I'm not eating a 99-cent shrimp cocktail, okay?
Yeah,
you can't pay me $99 to eat a 99-cent shrimp cocktail. And I got a serious. I cannot eat in proximity to Celine Dion.
Won't happen for you, huh?
Immediate projectile vomiting.
Everybody is living out there and staying there, too. I mean, there's so many performers. I think she was one of the first where, years ago, you would have, like, the old kind of hack Vegas guys that would do it.
Right.
But now Elton John is doing it, and a lot of rock bands are going there and staying.
Yeah, but living there, it's fantastic. Look who's, kind of removed from society. Keep Celine Dion in Vegas. I think it's a great idea. This way you're less likely to stumble across her in your everyday life.
That is true. We could build a dome over the whole place. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Anthony Bourdain is here with us. The brand new book that and this is kind of perfect summer readings because there's different stories that you can pick up. It's the nasty bits. And one of the ones that I really enjoyed is the yacht that you went out on. It was an opportunity to do something you never would have been able to afford to do your whole life.
This is an unbelievable project. I got called up a few years ago. And said, well, you were interested in this magazine assignment. It's this boat called The World. It's basically like an ocean liner, almost the size of a cruise ship. But it's not a cruise ship. It's a gigantic floating condominium where super rich people buy apartments for, I think, anywhere from $4 to $7.5 million and up. And they're gigantic 2-bedroom, things with sometimes more working kitchens, marble bathrooms, and they buy property or they buy homes, decorate them themselves, furnish them themselves if they like, and the boat constantly moves around the world, careful to hit each year a nice, they'll hit the Cannes Film Festival or the Grand Prix, and I guess you fly in and meet the boat and leave the boat whenever you like. I mean, it was pretty luxurious, but I'm not really a fan of cruise ships.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you're on a plane, if you look around and the other people in the plane, you think, do I want to spend a month with these people? Probably not.
Right.
Also, there's no one on the thing. I mean, these people are so rich, they're only on for a couple of weeks. So it was like a very luxurious version of The Shining.
Very odd, man. I had never even heard of this type of thing before. So it's almost like you're a condo owner, but it's on a
but on this vast ship with markets and casino or restaurants, but it's empty, or at least when I was there. So it was really eerie. It was everywhere you walked down these luxurious halls. Suddenly a bartender pops up. It's like, good evening, Mr. Torrance.
And you've gotten to do a lot of this different type of stuff, right?
It's generally, I'd much rather, I'd rather scam my way to Asia and just eat street food and bounce around Vietnam or Thailand or Malaysia. That Indonesia, that really excites me. That's when I'm at my happiest.
Now, you taking the crew back out with you the next time you travel, or is something you do this on your own?
The crew and I, for the show, we travel about 8-9 months. I guess around 9-10 months out of the year lately because we're making so many shows. We're like a band. We're 4-2-3 camera people with little digital cameras and assistant. Usually the same core group, and we go out and spend like 8-10 days at a time shooting shows and. Generally clustered together by continent. We're headed out to Beirut in 10 days to shoot there.
Have you done any of this stuff over in the Middle East? I know you've done a lot of European stuff and Asian stuff.
North Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa, yeah, but Beirut, Middle East, no. So this will be the first.
No, are you familiar with that kind of food, or?
Oh, yeah. Good. Really Lebanese. I've had a lot of great Lebanese food around the world. Mm-hmm. Very, very high reputation. So I'm looking forward to it. And I just did a show. We just did shows in Namibia and Ghana. And, I'm constantly asked, what's the worst thing you've ever eaten in your life? Mm-hmm. Well, I stayed with the Bushmen in the Kalahari Desert for a few days. And they're like hunter-gatherers. They hunt animals with poison arrows, and 90% of their diet is meat. So they get this warthog, drag the thing in at camp, saw its head off, throw it into a, hole full of coals, cover it with sand, zip open the abdomen, and, scoop out, 30 pounds of steaming crap onto the ground. Then with the same hand, like squeezing out the intestines, and the chief throws this, nasty piece of gut onto the fire and says, honored guest, here's the best part. 2 days, there was not a single mouthful of food I had with it. Did not have fur, sand, or crap in it.
Oh, man.
It was tough.
And you don't want to, is it a thing where you don't want to let them down by not leaping into this?
Their entire hierarchy is based on who gets meat and who within the group, the social group, distributes meat. That's, not a good place to say, well, no thanks. You have a Cobb salad,
I have some peanut butter in my bag.
Not hungry this week. Thank you anyway.
Yeah.
And you always make the attempt to just jump into whatever culture you're in as well, right?
I'd like to be a good guest. I'm grateful. I'm very grateful to be in these places, to be, I feel very lucky and fortunate to have the opportunity to get to know these people, to spend time with them, to see the world the way I've seen it. Yeah, I think, your own personal feelings about what's appetizing or, what comprises, a pet versus what compromises meat.
Right.
I think those are secondary to for me, secondary to being grateful and showing respect.
And it is kind of interesting, is like no matter where you go in the world, there's something about their local food that the people are really proud of that you probably should have got by the time you were 3 years old if you want to crave it for the rest of your life.
You just pretend that everybody's grandma.
Right.
She's proudly presenting you with her best, and even if you don't like it, you say thanks, Grandma, and I'll have some more.
Yeah. I'll run with it.
More often than not, it's good.
Fez, would you be able to do this?
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah,
I really don't think so. I like to be grateful and appreciative to people and respectful, but I don't think I could have done what you did.
I brought along
with the warthog.
So you won't be eating the scorpion snacks I brought along.
Crunchy.
Any place where you went to when you said, I just don't get this culture, I don't get these people, it just seems too weird?
I I get Uzbekistan. I don't know whether it was, a rollicking good time.
Right.
I had a bad massage experience there.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of a midnight express.
Pretty beat up, it looked like.
Yeah, and the food was not so great.
Now, you talk about, one of the stories I dig, too, that you talk about in the, New York City, you miss the old days, the Wild West days in New York City.
Well, I do a commentary section at the end of the book where I sort of comment on the piece. I wrote it a few years ago, and I'm looking back at the good old days. It annoys me a little that Times Square, for instance, is just so clean and squeaky, and there's Disney and Nike and all the knuckleheads standing outside of MTV. I liked it when the first thing you saw, I liked it when Times Square was scary to tourists.
Right.
When the first thing you saw coming into Times Square was a movie marquee that said Anal Rampage 3. I have, a certain sentimental fondness for those days.
I didn't know they came out with 2.
Yeah. And I kind of, I guess I in one way, I'm sentimental about it, but on the other hand, as I say in the commentary, do I really miss the days, where there were, bands of roaming feral crackheads, ripping you off on every corner? I mixed emotions.
It is it is amazing that this city has changed so much in 15, 20 years. It's just absolutely astonishing. And nobody predicted it. Nobody said just, hey, hang on, because the city's going to be back. Everybody was pessimistic about it.
I miss the grindhouses, though, with a triple bill. You can, go see, like, a good film like Chinatown, Superfly, and Lightning Swords of Death, all for $4.50. You smoke a Lucy up in the, up in the balcony. Good times.
Those days are definitely gone, though. All right, a lot of people want to talk to you. Anthony Bourdain here. The brand new book is The Nasty Bits. We'll take some questions. Here's Scott. Scott, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you, buddy?
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, Anthony, I enjoyed a bunch of your shows that I've seen on, like, Food Network, etc. I was in the Navy for 8 years, and I've been to many, many countries. I think Thailand was probably my favorite, and Bali, some of the Indonesian food. And I was just curious of what your favorite was.
I love both those countries, particular Bali. But for me, it's all about Vietnam. I've never been treated better. The food's fantastic. The people are nice. The country's beautiful. I was shocked how well Americans are treated there, how generously. So that's a place that really, grabbed me by the heart.
And the last time you were here, you said you plan on going back and living there someday.
Yeah, when this TV career thing, goes down the tubes, I got a contract to go out to Vietnam and live there for a couple of years and write about it.
Is there something about that, though? Is there some connection you have with Vietnam, or?
I grew up watching it on TV and watching movies, and of course having very conflicted feelings about it. But even during the terrible times there during the war, what I saw in the background looked physically beautiful. It looked like a beautiful country.
Right.
I don't know. It intrigued me.
It is odd greens in that country. There's something about the green, the color green that you see in those fields that I don't know if you see anywhere else in the world.
Right. I found that places where they grow and cultivate rice, I always feel really comfortable. I mean, Indonesia, they have these terraced rice paddies that are just so incredibly beautiful. And something happens to you when you're an American and you spend a certain amount of time out there. Where people are that generous in a place that beautiful, you really kind of can't ever fully come back home.
And you find that people live on a day-to-day different level than we are? They're thinking about different things? They're, striving for different things? Or?
Yeah, well, if you look at the Vietnamese, who basically been fighting for 600 years, French, Japanese, Americans, Cambodians, Chinese, Chinese again, they fight a lot. Just so that they can go back essentially to standing in a rice paddy, doing back-breaking work for 12 hours. There's something you got to respect about that kind of determination.
And every one of those countries waited for them to crack. It was always right around the corner before we break the back of these people, and it never happened.
They're not even a cohesive country in the sense that they really don't care. A rice farmer out in the countryside really doesn't think much of what they're saying in Hanoi or who the government is.
Right.
Just wants to. It's all about having a nice meal with your family, growing your rice, and being nice to strangers, which is apparently, from my experience.
All right, here is, let's go to Jason. Jason from Texas, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
I love this show. I love watching Anthony. I just want to ask him a question. One of the episodes I caught, it was like a German festival or a Polak or something where you're eating these blood sausages or head cheese. It looked like something straight out of Fear Factor, and you were pretty verbal about the taste, pretty much like shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember which episode that was.
That would be Iceland, and up until the recent Kalahari Desert episode, their fermented shark was the worst thing I've ever eaten. During their Thorablat festival, they make head cheese and blood sausage, which I happen to like. Mm-hmm. They make what is it? It's like a terrine or not a casserole, sort of a loaf of testicles, and fermented rotted shark. Now, any one of those things other than the shark is generally not a problem for me, but they pickle it in like lactic acid for 6 months. It is just, the stench could it could fell a charging rhinoceros or Rachel Ray, for that matter, from like 50 yards out.
Who would have even come up with this? By the way, I caught a little Rachel Ray on the Food Network today. When
penicillin will clean it up.
This was really great. She was with Joe Perry, right, from Aerosmith. And it was like the nice girl at school finally got to be alone with the cool guy. So she kept going, man and baby, and this is out of sight, Joe.
Yeah, that's ugly, man. That's like watching your grandmother break dance. You know?
It was really the funniest shit I ever saw in my life.
She's rocking Rachel Ray now.
Yeah, she really was. All right, now, she's doing a show. I guess she's replacing Tony Danza, so she'll have like an ABC show.
Those are big shoes to fill, my friend.
Anthony Bourdain is in studio with a chef and author. His new book is called The Nasty Bits. It's in stores now.
Here's Will. Will, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. Anthony, I wanted to ask you a quick question. You know, there's two shows that I've seen recently. One was just the other night. It was on in HD, where you and 4 other amazing chefs got to go to Blue Ribbon Sushi and get, like, the royal treatment there. And there was one critic who obviously just did not belong, and nobody really cared to even notice that this guy was there. And then the other one was when you went to the French Laundry with and had Thomas Keller just basically give you, you know, everything out of his soul on about 10 different courses. And I was wondering, what is it like when these chefs are doing this for you? I mean, it's got to be the most amazing thing about what you do for a living.
It's good to be a chef, and I got to tell you, you don't have to be like, you know, famous TV jerk chef either. You know, nobody gets fed better from, you know, by chefs and good restaurants than other chefs. I think any chef from any decent restaurant who showed up at the French Laundry and they knew they were coming is going to get that same treatment. In fact, you go for the grand tasting menu at the French Laundry, you know, any civilian is getting that menu.
Right.
On the other hand, sure, it's nice to hang out with chefs and you know, when it's an insider thing. I mean, naturally we eat really well. It's good. Life does not suck.
All right, what is the thing, though? If you show up at a restaurant, are you looking for the tasting menu yourself, or is there...
It depends.
Yeah.
Generally, if I'm just eating for me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, most of the time, 95% of the time, I just want to go in, grab a steak, eat something simple. I don't want a big deal. I don't even want to think about it. I'm not looking at the situation analytically. I mean, you do that when you cook. I just want to go have some sushi.
Right, like anybody
I don't want a
else.
12-course tasting menu. It's exhausting. But there's certain chefs in the world, like when you visit their city, you got to check that. I want to experience that. I mean, if it's a heavy hitter like Thomas Keller or, you know, Tetsuya in Sydney, it's, you know, it's like being in organized crime. You know, you're in the family. You go to another city. You got to pay respects to the local don, and see what they're up to, and let them show you around. And you know, that too is good. It's a lot of 20-course tasting menus when sometimes all you want is a good, you know, slice of pie or a hot dog.
Now, you brought up the crime thing. You're kind of a crime buff. You enjoy reading about crime.
Yeah, well, every couple of years I write a crime novel, and yeah, I keep up on organized crime trials and stuff in the news when it has to do with traditional organized crime families.
So you really like more the old school, not some of the newer stuff.
Yeah, I to me it's all about are they funny? And the fact is, you listen to the audio, the surreptitiously recorded audio tapes that the FBI makes of these guys in their social clubs. You know, there's a lot of aspiring Joe Pesci's out there. I mean, they've all seen the movies. That's what's so funny. And a lot of the conversations they recorded of the Cavalcanti family in New Jersey, in fact, they're all saying, hey, that's me on The Sopranos. Hey, Joey, who's playing you? You know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To me, Joe Pesci, for instance, talking, or John Gotti even at his funniest, I mean, that was kind of like jazz. We're interesting word stylists.
Just a lot of good street guys. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here is Jason from Baltimore. Jason, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yes, hello, Mr. Bourdain. I had a quick question for you. When you're in these remote villages and taking canoes and stuff to get places and you're eating all this crazy food, do you ever worry about your stomach and having to, take a crap somewhere?
All right, we'll let him go with that. Do you ever worry about health stuff?
It's a subject of frequent conversation among the crew. It's, how's your facilities and how's your stomach doing? We have a pool, in fact, on the show, who's going to get sick and lose a day's work first. It's always the camera person who washes with Purell every time she goes to the bathroom, who's really careful about her food. I've been really lucky. I wasn't feeling too funky fresh when I came back from the Kalahari, but nothing really serious ever. The only time most of the time, if I'm crawling around on the cold bathroom floor, it's alcohol related.
I notice that you will drink hard with these people too. You will not offend them with their local drinking.
Plus,
stuff.
it's fun. I mean, that's how you make friends and get crazy.
Yeah. Does everywhere you go in the world, do people have dessert, or is that just an American thing?
It's more of a Western. It's a Western European and American, English speaking and European thing more often than not. In Asia, it's usually something very like fruit, a little fruit at the end of the meal.
Now, if you go around the country, who do you think has the best dessert? What's the perfect dessert for you?
Well, for me, I'm really not a dessert guy. Give me some, a little piece of really intensely flavored chocolate pastry, and
You just want to get out small in that.
I'm a happy man, yeah. I'm not, there are a lot of great pastry chefs out there. But, when you've done a 20-course tasting menu, you'll notice everyone's like hitting the wall by the cheese course.
I know, it starts to happen to you. You're like, this is great. I need a break.
A stretcher.
Here is Ryan. Ryan, you're on the air. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Mr. Bourdain, how you doing? I love the show.
Thanks.
I was wondering, there was an episode where you went to Vietnam, and it was kind of both opposite sides of the spectrum, where you went to this high-class resort.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Vietnam? Was that where it was?
Yeah.
Malaysia. And then you also went to a spot in the hills where you claimed to be the only white man that the people have ever seen. I was wondering if there was any truth to that and what kind of reactions the people had to you. Thank you.
Gee, I don't know which show. I mean, I've certainly been places where they haven't seen Westerners before, other than a glance at a TV. That could have been this little area in Borneo where I stayed with a tribe who, pretty rare event. Certainly in Vietnam, I've been places both up in Montagnard villages and in the Mekong Delta where, white guy's a real curiosity. You'll get kids coming and stroking your arm if you feel hair on your arm. It's very, it's a big deal. First Westerner they've ever seen. Offhand, don't know.
Most of the time when you meet these people, I guess you're, whether you want to or not, representing the United States of America. Are they curious about us? Do they know a lot about Americans? Is it more about Bush or movies, or what are they curious about?
It's really funny. Like, I've been in really rural China, mainland China. And really rural Vietnam, both communist countries, by the way. They're the only places where people say to me, Bush, #1. They're like just stridently pro-American. Everywhere else, I think, just about everywhere I've been, people take you as you are. They can separate, I think, American people from what they might feel about American policy. Where they look really kind of worried about us, you're nice, but, you were potentially some kind of affectionate but dangerous golden retriever. It's like Australia, England, France, Germany, our traditional allies.
Our real allies think, you guys are okay, but you get a little fucked up every once in a while. You get a little wasted.
If there's any hostility, it's those places.
Do people, though, wherever you go, do they know American culture, though? Do they know Elvis? Do they know De Niro? Is it that type of deal? Or they're not even familiar with that?
Mainland China, it's really weird. They're like Engelbert Humperdinck and Shaq. LeBron James.
Right.
No matter where you go, they have the biggest profile. It's weird. It's like cargo cults sometimes, who they choose to pick up. A lot of places really funny, like Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. A lot of people's English, the way they speak English, they often learn from British teachers, but they lose that accent by watching like Friends and Seinfeld. They all talk that kind of mid-Atlantic TV.
Right.
It's kooky.
866 Ron Zero Fez. Anthony Bourdain hanging out with us. Here's John. John, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead, John.
Hey Bourdain, how you doing?
Hey.
I wanted to know your top couple wild game recipes and your favorite wild game to eat.
All right. Wow. Wild game.
Warthog?
Not warthog. I do like wild boar, just braised in red wine till it falls apart and tossed in a little flat pasta. That's a really good thing. The Italians do that really, really well, like making a ragu out of wild boar. Delicious. I love little game birds. I would think ortolan is my favorite. It's a tiny little game bird that you pick up by the feet and eat guts in. You drown them in Armagnac and roast them, and you eat them like bones, guts, and all. That's delicious. Unfortunately, it's illegal, so presumably I haven't had it. But if I had it, I'm sure I would have found it delicious.
In your book, you were wondering if you could even go back to the grind of cooking the way that you did for so many years. And I guess if your books hadn't taken off like this, you would have been forced to, right? That would have been your life for as long as you could handle it.
I was still working when Kitchen Confidential came out. It took a few months for me to realize, wow, I might actually not have to do this. So it was good timing, and I was in my early mid-40s when Kitchen Confidential came out, and I was not getting any faster or any smarter or any stronger in the kitchen. That's a hard business. It takes a lot out of your body. It takes a lot out of your brain, just all that pressure and booze and heat over the years. So, it was good timing. I like to say that when all this ends, I can go back and get my old job back. I just don't know whether I'd be as quick at it as I used to be.
Maybe you'll be doing lunch from that point on.
Oh, man. No, but as long as it's not brunch.
Here is Eric. Eric, you're on the air. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, Anthony, I love watching your show. I got two questions for you. Or actually a comment and a question. The comment being that since I'm Lebanese, I'm obviously biased, but I think you're going to very much enjoy the food in Beirut. I've been there a couple times. The question I have is, are you familiar with Sam Arnold, who recently passed away?
I'm not sure. No, tell me.
He owned the Fort restaurant here in Colorado, a world-famous restaurant.
Oh, no.
He fed the G8 when they were here about 10 years ago.
No, I'm afraid haven't spent much time in Colorado.
I was sure if you knew. Yeah, it's a very traditional restaurant, a lot of like these mountain man type setting and the food and whatnot.
Maybe we'll do a show there at some point in the future.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much. Here is... let me go to Matt. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you, buddy? Go ahead. Matt, going once, twice?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm here. I'm sorry.
All right, pal.
I missed that. Hey, Anthony, I love your show. I love your books. Watching the shows, you pack away a ton of food. And it amazes me and my wife that you are not just some huge chef that you normally see. Mm-hmm. So just wondering are you going and throwing everything up, or what's the deal?
No, 2 packs of cigarettes a day and a healthy lifestyle of, I don't snack. I pretty much insist on, red meat, cheese, alcohol, and cigarettes. And it's work. I guess I'm kind of on a freaky Atkins diet variation.
And most of the eating that you do is kind of grazing, right? It's not
on the show.
giant.
More often than not, I'm eating seconds. Especially if the chief's there. You got a lot of guys on their knees sitting in front of you, making sure that you're really enjoying. I mean, particularly in Asia, you can't just graze.
They don't let you.
So no, I pretty much more often than not, me and the crew, we eat till we bust, and then you rest for, you don't eat anything till the next day. I'm not eating a big breakfast every morning and then doing one of these scenes. I know I'm doing a big dinner. I'm not eating breakfast or lunch.
You're going to be set up for it. You're almost training.
You really do. You try to pace yourself, but I mean that's true in my regular life anyway. If I'm going out to dinner, maybe I'm having a cup of coffee and a butt for breakfast, and that's it. I'm not sitting around with a bag of cheese doodles all day.
Here's Tony. Tony, you're on with Anthony Bourdain. The new book is called The Nasty Bits. Go ahead, Tony.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Good.
No, I just wanted to ask Anthony there what he thought about that program there on Fox, the Hell's Kitchen.
I love that show. I mean, it's fake in the sense that I don't think it's really a real restaurant. Mm-hmm. I know Gordon Ramsay well. He's a great guy. He's kind of playing himself the way he was, 6-7 years ago. But I think it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I mean, if you're going to make a mindless reality show competition, I mean, that's right up my alley. If you really want to see what Gordon Ramsay is like as a chef and as a person, though, there's a show on BBC America called Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, in which he visits real working restaurants and tries to bail out their knucklehead chefs, teach them a few things, and get them back up and running. I think that's a much more realistic show. But for good trashy fun, I love Hell's Kitchen, man. I watch it every chance I get.
And he kind of kind of reinvented food in England, right? I mean, England was a little bit of behind everybody with food for a long time, right?
Him and the chef who he came up with, Marco Pierre White, were hugely important characters. Some of the first British-born chefs to get 3 Michelin stars. It was a huge accomplishment. Great chef. I mean, bottom line, you can see somebody a chef on TV, and whether they're Emeril or whether they're Gordon Ramsay, you go back to, did they really spend time in the restaurant business, and are their restaurants good? And in both cases, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I ate at Emeril's place in Florida. I thought it was amazing.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. And Ramsay's putting in a restaurant right around here somewhere. Supposedly, we had him on the phone not too long ago, but then there's like sightings, like he's Page 6 type stuff that he's eating at everybody else's restaurant in Midtown.
Yeah, I know he's around, and it's going to be very, very high quality. I mean, he's a serious chef, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to make this a great restaurant.
All right, let me go to a couple more here. Here is Jim. Jim, you're on with Anthony Bourdain.
Good deal, guys. 2 quick questions for you, Anthony. One being in your book, Kitchen Confidential, and maybe just being a little funny, but I just wanted to know what was your relationship with Emeril, because you called him the little Ewok. But I think it might have been in good fun. The second question was that on your Food Network show, A Cook's Tour, one of your cooks took you to Mexico, I believe it was, and you guys drunk this very cheap, thick, honey-like...
pulque.
I'm sorry.
It's called pulque.
Pulque.
Yeah, it's like fermented sap from the maguey cactus. It's got a milky, stringy... It's a very uncomfortable, texturally a very uncomfortable drinking experience.
It doesn't just about every culture you go to got their own liquor, too. Everybody...
Yeah, and there's often a budget one, like poor people... the poor man's beverage, and pulque's like that. You fill up your plastic like beach pail with it and sit there. It's not very alcoholic. You got to drink a lot of it. I'm not a big fan. I prefer tequila. As far as Emeril, I really meant it when I was saying all those mean things about him in the first book. I was still a line cook when I was still working in a kitchen, and I saw that show, and it just I hated the image of I hated what I saw on television. I hated cute, adorable, outgoing celebrity chefs, and it just had no relationship at all to the life I was living or the chefs I knew. Of course, since that time, you look at the bobbleheads on Food Network now. He looks like a distinguished giant. And of course, I have eaten at his restaurants. I've met a lot of his crews, people who work for him, who say that he's a good boss, he's decent to his people, he runs quality restaurants. And in fact, I've met him and hung out with him a few times, and he's got a sense of humor. I mean, he took some serious ball busting from me and was very gracious back. And I respect anybody with a sense of humor. I don't think I gave the guy enough respect. I as a chef, as an accomplished businessman, and as a decent guy, I still hate that damn show. Okay.
It's funny. I was talking to somebody not too long ago. They were telling me that one of the problems since the Food Network is that so many people are coming out of the cooking shows thinking their life is going to be like Emeril's or Bobby Flay's on TV, explaining things, and they don't know how to make it in kitchens anymore.
Well, Emeril and Bobby Flay, these guys put their time in real restaurants, so they know what it's like to get their ass kicked, screamed at, to deal with, less glamorous problems than what the feed table ate. Like how to fix a grease trap, what do you do when the toilets explode, your dishwasher quits. That they've been in the world. Food Network now, they actively don't want trained chefs. They want large-headed personality brands. I think they're growing them in Petri dishes somewhere.
You do need a large head to make it on TV. No one knows why.
It's just vital.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I read a book not too long ago, too, about not Gore Vidal, Gay Talese. And one of the things he was writing about one spot on the Upper East Side that must have went through 12 or 14 restaurants, owners, in his lifetime. Most of the time with these restaurants, you're set up to fail, right? I mean,
they're doomed. There are doomed spots.
Is that right? You feel that way?
It's like the house in Poltergeist. It's like there's some kind of graveyard, underneath, and it just people smell death from the previous restaurant and just aren't willing to go in. I've seen only a few people break that pattern, and Mario Batali's one of them at Otto downtown. That's one of the few places that's gone into a classically haunted house. site of many failed operations and managed to turn it around.
And you guys are actually somewhat superstitious about that, where you go, I'll go in and work, but I don't know if we can pull this one off.
I think you understand, I don't know about superstitious, but you understand that you have some kind of a general perception to overcome, and the last thing you need is anything to overcome in a business. It's hard enough.
We had Shelley's across the street here, and they're getting rid of that building, so they moved them down. Now, I used to see this place packed noon and night. They moved maybe a half a block, and it doesn't nearly look, just to my eyes, having the same traffic that they had before.
Yeah, it's just like an intangible thing. And if a place doesn't look right or feel right, people will just suddenly either not choose to come in or turn on you suddenly. I think that's one of the reasons chefs are so crazy, and is those are the kind of pressures they're. We're all about control and not losing control just to get the food out of the kitchen. When you're working in a business where you can do everything right and still fail,
right,
and where that's in fact very common, that's a tough world to live in.
And a lot of times you guys already know, okay, no matter what happens, we're already doomed. Maybe we'll get another 3 or 4 months. So you guys just work it out as you're looking for another gig.
I went to this place in South Beach. It's owned by a celebrity dentist. Okay, that's his. He has a press release proudly describing how he, the celebrity dentist, came up with this brilliant sort of a theme for a restaurant, a nutritional food that will make you more beautiful. And they even had, I'm told, a beauty sommelier for a while. Now, they had really talented cooks in that kitchen, but they had to know going in. It's like, I need a gig for 6 months, and I guess I'll take this meathead's money because, oh, my God.
Have you ever been to any good, not celebrity chefs, but just a celebrities restaurant where somebody like Britney or J-Lo opens, and you see them opening night on, E! Entertainment, they're acting like they're in the kitchen. They're like, oh, some of this is my grandmother's recipes. And it's bullshit.
Yeah, I want Lindsay Lohan touching my food. No way. Swayze's partner. Hey, sounds delicious to me. Like a side of that. Oh man, I actually interviewed for a restaurant, and I don't know what this owner was thinking. It was clearly a spongiform riddled brain pan. A Marla Maples themed restaurant. So you're going to build your business plan is predicated on Donald Trump's ex-wife and her occasional presence here and her international celebrity as a noted gastronome and deep thinker. It was just incredible to me, and people do that all the time.
But it's Marla Maple syrup.
Yeah, right.
That's got to sell.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a restaurant like in New York that lasted a long time and you're just shocked? You're like, I can't believe.
That year after year after year it does well?
It does well, yeah.
In spite of its general horribleness? Sure. I mean, there's so many. That's
right.
Horribleness, I don't know. I mean, there are places that serve pretty mediocre food, but have it figure like Carmine's, just keeps going and going and going. I don't think the food's great. It's like an it's like a airplane hangar in there. But they got to figure it out. Big portions, fairly decent food, large drinks, and.
But has anybody ever made a giant meatball that was tasty? I just never understand that. I don't know what people thought. Hey, they've got meatballs here the size of your head. That's not what I'm looking for.
Try the meatball.
Yeah, like giant sushi. Bigger is not better. I mean, already you're distending your face in unnatural ways, shoving a whole piece of sushi in your face. You do a giant one with rice falling all over it's not a concept I like.
All right, here is Scott. Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask Anthony, on one episode you drank, and I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, it's called Absinthe or Absinthe?
Oh, Absinthe. That was a Paris episode.
Now, on the show they portrayed it that you had a true psychedelic experience. Was that really a trip, and how did you feel?
No. It wasn't true. It really wasn't much of anything. Compared to LSD, it was nothing.
Nothing at all.
Not that I know.
One of my favorite episodes you've ever done, though, just wandering around Paris and the bread junkies, the people who know when the bakeries open up and they're ready for it.
Well, I think, if you spend any time in France, you become a bread junkie yourself. It's such a beautiful thing. Fresh baked bread coming right out of the oven. Good. It's a good thing.
All right, we're going to let you go, buddy. What's next for you? You're back on the road?
Next, Beirut. I'm just finished up book tour in Beirut in 10 days, and then make it up as I go along.
All right, The Nasty Bits is a new book, and I'm going to tell you, it's a lot of fun, great summer reading. Always great to see you. Hope to see you again, pal.
Looking forward to it. Always fun for me.
Thanks, Anthony.
All right, we'll be right back. Ron and Fez.
Ronnie, Fezzy, The Ron and Fez Show, XM 202.
Yeah, it's the Ron and Fez Show. My best friend in the whole world, Anthony Bourdain, just left.
I'm your best friend in the whole wide world.
You're my best work friend. And actually it goes back and forth between you and Bronx Johnny right now. You two are my best friends.
You have one best friend, work and at home, and it's Fez Whatley. I met your at-home and work friend.
I don't even know what that is. It's like you're an easy listening music station. I'm actually dying. I don't know whether I'll last the weekend.
I think your cold has gotten worse during the show.
Yeah, it has. I don't know how I ended up with the strength of 10 men. I don't know how I pulled that off. By the way, Earl, thanks for bringing Anthony Bourdain in. A very good guest. I always like having him on. I was embarrassed the way Elo talked about you on the show today.
Yeah, I kind of let myself and you and the show down on that one. He kind of beat me up a little bit. Me up a lot.
Did you shit the bed with that tape that you turned in, though? I never understand how people turn in stuff that's poor. You have all the time in the world to do it.
I can't imagine the madness that was on the CD that you handed Elo.
No, he says you only say a sentence or two and then play 5 songs, and he thought he was listening to your iPod.
Well, I mean, the demo he was talking about, that thing's actually a couple of years old, too.
Why would you turn in something a couple of years old?
No, I had handed that in a couple of years ago. He just sat on it.
But you had been in radio 2 years ago. You know that you had that idea for 10 years.
Yes. And again, he asked me, he's like, give me a sample hour of what it would sound like. He goes, and I said, it's like, I said, I'll need some time to really, produce or anything. No, just give it to me really raw, just kind of a sketch of what it would sound like. And that's what I gave him, and he still destroyed me.
He should have. I would have, too.
And, Earl, with all your years in radio, Marconi, you know this. When you hand in an air check, you don't include full songs. The guy's not looking for a CD of music. He just wants to hear what you're doing.
No, but that's what he had asked for. And I said, I can give you a nice...
scope fucking music, and you know that in this business. You understand the business.
I totally understand that, but I gave the man what he wanted.
Yeah, he wants to hear an 8-minute song. Rusty James. Rusty James, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to know if Fez is available tomorrow to come to my birthday party.
Absolutely. Where's your party going to be at?
Down by the river.
Sure.
On the pier.
Yeah.
Motorcycle Boy's going to be there, too.
Motorcycle Boy reigns. I'll tell you that right now. No one ever brings that up anymore. Motorcycle Boy reigns. Fezzy, you're going back to doing your hard stuff tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow is those tests I was supposed to have, that nuclear stress test that I was supposed to have 2 weeks ago.
You want me to take a quick look at it right now with this?
No, that's a scissors.
Yeah, but what I do is I put this over your chest, and I pound down, and I'll get in there and take a look and see what I'm dealing with.
You might strike a stent if you stab me in the chest with scissors.
All right.
And I'm wired for sound today. I got
you
my
motherfucker, I know it. God damn it. That's the scariest. That's the second time in my life I've seen a guy wearing a wire, and I almost pissed myself the second time.
So I'm all wired up with a heart monitor on today.
Let me see. Where's it all at?
It's, it hangs like this. It hangs off into this power pack.
I had no idea. So that's been on all this time?
Yeah, and what I kept doing, like when Anthony Bourdain was in, I just kind of kept the power unit down in my pocket so that nobody could see that I'm walking around like a cyborg.
Yeah, I didn't notice that all day. Boy, that's nerve-wracking when your partner's wearing a wire. That's a scary situation.
It does look like
I once saw a guy get... stabbed just for having a Walkman. He had a fucking Walkman going up, he had it in his pocket going up into his ear in the middle of a situation, a transaction. He fucking got stabbed for it. And he's just yelling out, "It's a Walkman! It's a Walkman!" And I tried to help, and I was yelling, "Kill him! Kill him!"
So I've had to wear this for 24 hours. That's why I didn't want to go see Superman, because I'm sure they would have busted me thinking I was videotaping the movie for bootlegs. They've already busted 2 people in the city for that.
Here's Gary here on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, what's going on?
Hey, buddy boy.
I was just wondering if you guys agreed with the chef that Carmine's is a bad restaurant.
No, I don't think it's bad. I think it's more of a tourist restaurant. It's not that it's horrible, especially when compared to some of the suburban stuff. But, you know, in the city of New York, I don't think a lot of locals go to Carmine's, do they?
You know what? That I don't know. I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
But when I do come to the city, I like going there.
Why wouldn't you? You take your bridge and your tunnel in, you go in, you see a show, you go to Carmine's.
Now you're talking.
You know, you get yourself a cotton candy, you lose some money, a 3-card Monte, and you're out of the town.
But it's not like they're giving you like a big plate of shit either. They're big plates, but I think the food's fantastic.
Well, you would. You're from North Jersey. It's to you. You're in the big time. It's the shiny lights.
Well, what's a good place, Ron?
You know what? I would go down to Little Italy. I really would.
And where would you go there?
Well, we've got very good friends in Little Italy, Fez.
Paisanos, Joey Paisanos. Paisanos of Mulberry Street.
Go to Joey Paisanos, check into the hot apps, enjoy yourself, and eat some real Italian food, all right?
Sounds good. All
right? And now, if you want a meatball the size of your head, go to Carmine's.
Will do.
All right, talk to you later. I know somebody was going to get their feelings hurt from that.
Giant meatball. For some reason, that just seems grosser than any of the foreign stuff Anthony Bourdain was talking about.
It's just a really big meatball. All right, Fez, it's time for you to try to guess our caller again. Now, earlier today, you took it to the limit with Superstar. Here's the next celebrity call-in. Hi, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Fez.
Any clue at all there?
I know exactly who this is.
Who's that?
This is Superstar calling back.
It's me, Lene.
That's your clue now. It's me, Lene.
It's me, Lene, and it's not Superstar.
All right, think of this, Fez. I'm going to give you some clues. Black and huge hands. Black and huge hands.
Black and huge hands. I'm going to guess Little Lene?
Yes.
What's going on, Lene?
I just wanted to wish you a happy vacation. And, you know, when you guys are coming back, I'm going to be leaving for L.A., so...
L.A. Los Angeles, huh?
Yeah.
You ever been out there before?
No.
Would you pick up a package for me from a friend of mine and bring it back without being caught? Hey, Lene?
Yeah?
Have you ever rat-holed anything before?
What do you mean?
Earl, get me that tube, get me the butt lube, and send it over.
Will do.
Okay. Because no one's ever going to check her, Fez.
Here, I've got the lube right here.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's a travel kit. What are you going to be doing in Los Angeles, Lene?
I'm going to be, going, I'm just going to be, walking around, and, having, tours and stuff, maybe, and stuff, and, probably go to, the beach and the pool.
What do you want to see most? What is your biggest L.A. dream?
My biggest LA dream is just to be in Hollywood.
Sure.
That's just my biggest dream ever.
Would you do this when you get there? Would you yell, hooray for Hollywood?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And put your hands in those cement foot handprints at Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Right.
You can also buy heroin on the street there, too. Not everybody wants this. You know what? Now I think of it, it's not even good for kids.
Well,
I was just saying from when I was out there.
It's all if you want the full L.A. experience or not.
I know I did. I took the James Addiction Tour. It's the only tour at all I took, and it was fantastic. So when are you leaving, Lene?
I am leaving July 11th.
Oh, July 11th. And you're out there for how long?
A week and a half.
Week and a half.
Week and a half to make your dreams come true.
Are you going to try to get in the movies?
I'm going to try.
Yeah, I hope you do. I really do. I hope you're the next Jonah Bobo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just to get something going with you.
Yeah, you got to get something going. How's the radio show going?
Great.
Yeah. How are you going to do that when you're in L.A.? Now, I tried to turn it on last week. I heard a rerun.
You heard a rerun last week?
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait. Oh, yeah, last week.
Yeah.
Because I was sick.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
I like your fresh programming, honey. You always got to put out a new show.
Little commitment there. I tuned in waiting to hear some of the new tunes from Keen, and I was really disappointed.
I'm sorry. It's just I was sick, and
You know what? If you don't want to do this, don't do it, honey. It's up to you. No one's making you.
No, I want to do this.
It doesn't seem like it.
Well, I still want to do this.
Well, why don't you take some time off then? If you're going to take vacations and sick days, why don't you just take some time off from it?
Okay, wait. The only time I take off is sick days, emergencies, or if there's Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people are going to be going away.
Gee, are you ever there?
Yeah.
And nobody's going to listen.
Radio never sleeps, honey. It's a 24/7.
You got a responsibility to the listeners.
Now, our boss, Elo, was in here today, and I wanted to talk to him about you. And I said, I know a very lazy girl who sometimes does shows. And he goes, that's not what I'm looking for.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
Because I listened to the show.
Well, I told him off the air, honey. I don't say things on the air. That's business talk.
If you showed up and did your show, you'd know about spot breaks.
Okay, that was... I only do that, not every, 2 weeks. I do it, every 5-6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you do one show a week, right? One show a week. And how long is your show?
My show is 1 hour.
All right, you do 1 hour a week, and you still miss times?
Yeah, because I'm sick, there's emergencies, or people are going away, and then they can't listen. A lot of people can't listen to my shows, and then I'm always...
I know, I can't. I tried. I can't listen that all the way through.
It's only an hour.
All right, Lene, I know this is your dream, right, to be in radio?
Yeah.
I'm going to pull the plug on that dream. I'm just going to say that you don't want it, and I'm just going to snatch that dream away from you.
Did the lights just go out, or is that a dream getting unplugged?
I got a better plan for you, Lene.
What?
What if you do this? You grow up to be a homemaker.
Now, there's an idea.
What do you think?
If you take away my dream, then I'm not going to be on your show ever again.
All right, you got me. That's it. That's where we stand right now, Fez.
And I'm never going to give you guys birthday presents ever again.
All right, so you have to threaten us right now for taking away your dream.
Mm-hmm.
Does this sound like even a little girl who deserves a dream?
What?
Not to me. Gee, if you're not on the show, who's going to call in sick and not show up for us?
Hey, Fez, I know that you've had a heart attack and you've got all these wires attached to you. Well, that's not enough bad news. Now it gets worse. Lene's never going to buy you another present.
Yeah, I got a heart monitor on today, and I think it's saying broken, broken, broken.
All right, that's unless you take away my dream. That's why.
There is no more dream, honey. The dream is gone.
There is a dream.
Yeah.
I had a dream of getting healthy again.
There is still a dream.
What about a new dream? You work as a receptionist.
No.
At a radio station.
Or an abortion clinic. Somewhere where you're helpful, like, hey, how can I help you?
No, you're not taking away my dream.
And please don't eat 8 hours before the procedure.
I always eat right up till...
It doesn't matter if you eat.
Oh, well then why should I pay? All right, Lene, well this really turned into, I guess, a radio war. I guess now we're in one of those shock radio wars. Where you say you're not going to do our show anymore. And then we're going to take away your dream.
Okay, I said that if you take away my dream. If you don't, then I'll be your friend.
Oh, so do you want to apologize?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry that I said that, it's just... Wait, you have to apologize.
Wait, first you have to say, I apologize for being a bad, awful person. Okay. Go ahead.
I apologize for being a bad, awful person. Now you have to apologize for me.
I'm so sorry that you were bad and awful. Really.
No!
And I'm sorry you don't have a dream anymore.
I didn't say that.
You forgot to apologize for the bad drawings you did, too.
And for making your parents fight.
I don't make my parents fight.
I know things that you don't.
I do not.
I had lunch with your dad the other day, and he told me some of the troubles. I guess since you were born, things have changed quite a bit around the house.
What?
All we can say is, don't let them out of your sight when you're on the other side of the country.
So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, don't. You know what? You stay naive. Stay like a child. Don't even think about it. Think that your parents will always be together. Maybe there's a long shot they will.
You may have to find your own way home like Milo and Otis.
I know they would like some more time. Free time away from some of this stuff.
Okay.
And a chance to start over with a fresh baby.
Sure.
Wait, I
Nice
just want
one.
to say something. I've been letting them go out together without me involved.
Right.
I watched myself one night.
Oh, that's
because
scary.
I wanted them to
Save
be
their marriage.
happy without me right now.
Save their marriage. So you're helping to save the marriage?
What?
You're trying to help. You're trying to get them to go out and you stay at home all by yourself?
Yeah. Well, my tenant lives downstairs and she was there when I was
Right.
upstairs
So
and stuff.
And she can help you make mixed drinks for yourself. Oh, it's awful.
Sorry, I can't do my radio show, my 1 hour a week radio show. I have to stay home and watch myself. Excuses?
All right, Latchkey. Well, I think it's all going to work out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I hope that Fez and I helped you a lot today.
You know, getting that whole dream out of the way.
Yeah.
Now you can concentrate on some other things, like sewing.
Or cleaning or baking.
Okay, well, number one, I can't bake right now because I don't know how to work a oven.
Well, you can do that when your parents are out. Go ahead. What's number two? And don't
Number
say poop.
two,
Don't say
I don't
poop.
like sewing.
Right.
And number three, I already clean.
Right. All right, Cinderella. So you're doing everything you can.
Yes.
Okay. Let's pray that you turn into a little birdie and fly away. You want to? God, make me a little birdie and let me fly away. You don't pray?
What?
You're not taught to believe, honey?
What?
How long before you show up, outside that house in Astoria and start throwing rocks at it?
Sure.
And your retarded friend pays to have it bulldozed.
Earl. All right, Lene.
Yeah?
I think we made some real progress here today, right? You are going to help get your parents back together, right?
My parents are together.
Well, I mean without you interrupting.
Okay.
Their special time.
Maybe it would be better if they just went out to L.A. by themselves.
No, okay. Well, no, my parents won't do that.
Why not?
Because they love me. They would take me with.
That is true. They would sacrifice their marriage for her. They're good people.
Their own dreams.
Sure. Okay, honey, we got to go now.
Okay.
All right, best of luck to you in L.A. Give us a call, all right?
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
And is there anything else you want to say to Fez? About apologizing?
Of course I'm going to give you guys a present when your birthday comes, okay?
All right, good. Thank you very much.
And what about giving me this heart attack?
Say you're welcome. All right, Lene.
All
right, bye-bye.
Bye.
So after 27 years in radio, she's retiring to Florida. Sebastian, Florida.
And she's going to spend her time watching the Mets.
Boy, I'll tell you, taking care of kids is not easy.
Now, especially when she gets this wild idea in her head that she's got a dream. Of a career, no less!
Well, she's a girl. Sometimes these days girls dream of things.
You know whose fault that is?
Who's that?
Barbie.
I thought Gloria Steinem. I thought Barbie actually sucked the dreams out of their little heads. Earl, would you like to be her retarded friend and come over and help her?
Run, Earl!
Okay, can I bulldoze the house?
Why don't you, you know what is weird? You and her both have a fake radio show that neither one of you get going.
Actually, hers is on the air. Somehow, but mine isn't.
Yeah, why don't you do yours as an internet show, Earl? Oh, black people don't own computers. Sorry.
That's partially true. They don't really do the net thing a lot.
According to ELO, Earl, you've actually turned in 4 to 5 seconds more of a show than Lene has to him.
Lene would be perfect for XM. What's that kids channel we have?
XM Kids.
That can't be it. It's got to be a better name than that.
No, that's it. It's very simple.
Huh?
It's very simple.
Do kids listen to the radio?
I think when they're, like, in their car seats and stuff, yeah.
So when they're forced.
Yeah.
All right.
Or she can sit in on Willie's place.
Hey, that's dirty. That's dirty stuff. Willie's place is for adults. Let me go to Jeff here. Jeff, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How are you, buddy? Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, sorry, guys. You can't get beaten up on Lene. She's got as much of a radio show as Bob Dylan does, 1 hour.
What did I see in the paper yesterday about Dylan's radio show? It's getting some other kind of rave.
Yeah, he's doing a show. His next theme show is going to be based on baseball, and they're going to put it in the Cooperstown Hall of Fame archive.
Is he going to do it from Cooperstown?
He's doing a show from Cooperstown. From there, I think they have like a small minor. He's been touring minor league stadiums for the last couple of years. He's doing a show. He's doing a performance there, and the next theme time radio hour is going to be based on baseball, and they're going to keep it in their permanent archive.
So Bob Dylan's going into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, technically, yes, he is. He's going to be a baseball Hall of Famer.
Bob Dylan is in, and Pete Rose can't get through. Showboat and Pete doesn't get a shot, let alone Bake McBride. All right, here's Rich. Rich, you're on Ron and Fez.
My daughter listens to XM Kids, and I'm sure she'd love to hear Lene on it. Well, and see Brawl, get some booty action, leg it down, smack 'em, yak 'em.
All right, thank you very much. How can people listen to Lene Fez on her internet show?
I'm trying to think of what the website address is.
Earl, do you have it?
There is no radio.com.
There is no radio.com. He's starting to be my go-to man, Fezzy.
Earl.
Mm-hmm. That's what seems to be happening lately. I noticed that.
Doesn't matter. She's not going to show up to do the show anyway.
That is true. Daniel, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, you know that bit you guys do about XM's new channels and how specific they are?
Yeah.
A Bob Dylan show is that bit.
It's that specific. Yeah, he will do songs about divorce. Yeah. All right, thank you very much.
Baseball's just the beginning. Then it'll get into baseball gloves and hot dogs from there.
It's time to do a show about baseball. This is called Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
I think this show is hilarious. The divorce show yesterday goes, the largest divorce settlement was $877 million. Shit happens. And it's right into the next song.
What songs are about divorce, though?
If there was a song from like 65, that would have been the most recent song. I mean, he was playing like Hank Snow and like really obscure R&B singles, songs like It's Cheaper to Keep Her and stuff like that.
George, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys. So Lene's going out to Hollywood. She should try getting on that game show, The Lice is Right.
Okay. She had a little lice problem. She had that cleaned up with mayonnaise and I believe relish in her hair.
Something from a deli. I saw an article like a couple days after Lene was in here telling us about her lice, and the headline was, "Lice Becoming Indestructible." And I'm thinking, how gross is that? And I immediately started itching all over again.
Who couldn't kill a bug? How can a lice be indestructible? Here is Dennis. Dennis, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddies.
Yeah.
I would never let my child listen to a Lene show. Her accent is terrible. She makes, even Black Girls has more white than she does.
All right, she's a story, obviously. She does have an accent. I like it, Fez, because it's unique, and it's happening. It's real.
Yeah, but it can't be a turn-off to listeners. Can't go chasing them, out of their subscriptions. We got a business to run here.
Sure, and people love your voice. We get emails about that all the time. They love when you talk.
Theatrically trained.
Iowa Pimp, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. Hey, I just want to thank you guys for turning me on to that Solomon Burke. Man, I had to play it for my chick last night. I was in a little trouble for drinking and bumping up, man, so kind of helped me out.
Well, you think it does, because you're coked up and you're drunk. But obviously...
she was all good with it.
Yeah. She's like, now I understand. You're like Solomon Burke?
Yeah. Yeah, I played it for her, and she was like, well, I guess, I got to put up with you.
She must be a great-looking woman.
Oh, she's fucking hot, man.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Good luck with the Iowa cocaine. That must really not be
Hey,
too
man,
stepped on.
this is Iowa Pimp. I'm running the trailer parks out here in the mid-state.
Yeah, we're all proud of you, bro. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ.
Some British experts are worrying that David Beckham's wife, Posh Spice, and about her ultra-slim figure, that it's making her thinspiration for anorexics.
Have you seen her this last time, Fez? Have you seen the pictures of her?
I haven't seen her recently.
She is as tiny can be. She's just think like a bird. She's that thin right now.
See, the problem with the thinness is when the bones start to show through the skin.
Problem or a turn on? I find it absolutely exciting when a woman gets so thin she starts passing out.
Because then you go from twiggy to just looking absolutely alien. Like all of a sudden your shoulder bones are just poking out.
Yeah, hot. Just unbelievably hot.
That's not hot because then it's like spaghetti arms on top of big giant round shoulder bones.
Oh. Like fucking a 10-year-old boy. I don't think anybody's going to turn that one down, Fezzy. Like banging a baby deer. Just so thin and wiry, and she can't keep her legs going. Earl, the Posh Spice, and obviously she's got an eating problem. Does it work for you?
No, not at all. I can't have, like, bones protruding out of the body.
Oh, I need that. I don't even want any ass fat. I want the ass to actually be sunken in.
Where it's just a pelvis bone.
Uh-huh. Like a fawn. Like a little baby fawn.
It just looks so fragile, like you're going to hear her cracking, like there's going to be some sort of fissure running down her leg bones.
Are you trying to give me wood? Is that what this whole conversation is about?
That's not dirty talk.
I like sunken eyes. I like the eyes to be really sunken. I just want to make it feel like she wants the allies to come and take her out of this terrible place that she's in.
I would love to bang Posh Spice and any thin girl like that. You know why? Because if you do, your little friend down there, your organ seems a lot bigger. It's the best. That's all. It's the only type of chick I go for, is those small Ethiopian-type chicks.
Is West Side, would you call her a small Ethiopian?
Yeah, I would say she's pretty darn thin. She's 100 to 105 pounds. Yeah. I always tell her, if you
That's a little large.
If she goes to 106, she's out. And she knows those rules, you know.
You got to get her down in the high 70s.
I'd like to see her at about 95.
No, I like to throw some flies on her face.
Yeah, I mean, I really like gymnast bodies. It's really why I love to watch the Summer Olympics.
Not gymnasts. I'm talking those Posh Spice. They can't even keep up. And then I want to feel like I'm bringing rice down for her from out of the ceiling. And make it really an exciting look. Ernie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, hey, Ron. Maybe I'm wrong. Did Earl just disagree with you?
You know what, Ernie? I think he did. That makes you a lucky winner. It must be time for vacation. Earl has a different opinion than Ron.
Hang on, Ernie. You're going to get the Ramones' Greatest Hits CD, courtesy of Rhino Entertainment. 20 songs by the Godfathers of Punk. The CD is in stores now, or you can go to rhino.com to order.
Now, you call them the Godfathers of Punk, or you just had to read that?
I just had to read that they were the Godfathers of Punk.
Why not, instead of saying Godfathers of Punk, we just say Ramones in the read? Here's Kevin. Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Rod.
Yeah.
Kevin the trucker. How you doing?
Huh?
Hey, I got a wife that only weighs about 90 pounds. She's 6 foot tall.
Is she anorexic?
Yes, she is.
You're a lucky man.
No, I'm not. And I wanted to let you know that Eastside Dave is full of crap about that. It's feeling bigger or whatever.
Yeah.
What happens is the inside of the uterus is got more room to expand. You don't even feel like you're hitting the back wall.
So it feels like you're sticking your dick out the window.
Maybe you have a very small penis, sir. I'm not going to get into a cock contest.
Why not?
All right, fine. Hey, you want us? He can't see it.
What are you yelling out?
I was going to take it out, but it would make no sense. He's not in the room.
Take it out and Fez will measure it.
Do you want to?
He wins.
Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Hey, Ron and Fez show, we got you, bud? Dave, I'm going to have to send you back in there. You don't have a crew that can keep up. It's driving me nuts. Okay. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
I got a question for Earl. I want to know what turns him off more, Posh Spice's weight or her vagina?
Earl gets a little turned off by vaginas. Is that right, Earl?
No, the weight, not the vagina.
You saying you like them?
I love them.
Then make up a poem about one.
Oh, my vagina.
Your vagina?
My beautiful, beautiful vagina. I'm just making shit up. I'm sorry.
You think that you have a vagina?
No, I missed a word in there. I'm not thinking straight. I'm sorry.
You just have a hairy belly button, Earl. That's not a vagina.
It's deep.
I'm going to take a break. I never saw a show so ready for vacation as this one. Fez is hooked up to monitors. I got a head cold. And Earl is singing songs about his own vagina. It's a show where the wheels have come off.
A vacation from our problems.
We'll take a break. We're right back. Ron and Fez.
Fezzy. The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
You boys and girls, London calling, now don't look to us. Phony Beatlemania has bitten the dust. London calling, see we ain't got no swing, except for the rain and the crunch of thing. The ice is coming, the sun's zooming in, meltdown expected, the wheat is good in. Engines stop running, but I have no fear, 'cause London is drowning out. To the imitation zone. Forget it, brother, you can go it alone. London calling to the zombies of death. Quit holding out and draw another breath. London calling, and I don't want to shout, but while we were talking, I saw you nodding out. London calling, see we ain't got no hide, except for that one with the yellowy eyes. The ice is coming, the sun's zooming in, engines stop running, the wheat is going big, a nuclear error, but I have no fear, 'cause London is drowning. I live by the river. The ice age is coming, the sun's zooming in, engines stop running, the wheat is going big, a nuclear arrow, but I have no fear, 'cause London is drowning. I live by the river. Now get this! London calling, yes, I was there too. And you know what they said? Well, some of it was true. London calling at the top of the dial. And after all this, won't you give me a smile? I never felt so much like.
Yeah, that's The Clash, brand new documentary coming out right now, Fez. And you can pick it up on DVD.
Yeah, the DVD documentary is Let's Rock Again. That's from director Dick Rude.
And it's all about Joe Strummer. Joe Strummer, of course, genius. Earl, did you ever have the opportunity to meet The Clash?
I met Joe very briefly at Irving Plaza. We were like waiting online basically to use the bathroom. Really nice guy. He's just like, hey, how you doing? I was like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, enjoying the show. He's like, yeah. He goes, I always love coming to New York. He was very New York for some reason, even though he was a London guy.
Yeah.
But it just definitely captured the spirit of New York.
And you captured the spirit of him, telling that story of two guys waiting online in the bathroom and awkward small talk. I feel like I was there, Earl. I never met anyone who needs a vacation as badly as you do.
I'm toast. I'll be the first to admit.
Would you promise not to come into this building? Would you promise to go somewhere green?
Just stay home and work on your poetry.
I plan on not just disappearing for a couple of
Talk to your dad. Vacation starts tomorrow. Have your dad go out front, open up the fire hydrant, and go running back and forth. Just take 8-10 hours, you and the neighborhood kids, running through the hydrant.
Just relieve a great childhood memory.
Sure. Stop up the sewers so you get a nice little knee pull going. Anyway, Dick Root has done this documentary on Joe Strummer and the last kind of days of Joe Strummer's life. Did you watch this, Earl?
Yes, and it's great. I really enjoyed it.
It's great. It was terrific, but it was a little bit sad to see that the heat seemed to have been off his career.
Yeah, he had been away for a long time, and he was just... His whole code was just like surviving. As if I was like, this guy's a legend. He shouldn't be just surviving.
Yeah, very good point. Because that is one of the few legends of rock. And really, the Clash, you could give them credit for saving rock and roll. You really could. Fez, but it's a brand new documentary coming up.
Let's Rock Again, an intimate portrait of the late Joe Strummer. That's in stores now from Imagine Entertainment. And we got the director of the documentary, Dick Root, standing by to talk to us.
Hey, Dick, welcome to the Ron and Fez Show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Congratulations on the documentary. How did this all come about?
Well, I was sitting around wondering what to do, and Joe was sitting around wondering what to do, and we decided that we needed to attack the world with some more love.
Now, you guys, you've known each other for a long time?
Over 17 years, yeah. We'd been best friends and worked on many different projects together. He co-starred in Straight to Hell, which I co-wrote and also starred in, and we did a film called Walker together, and then we did some recording together, too, here in L.A. for the Earthquake Weather record that he put out with Joe Strummer in the Latino Rockabilly War. So we'd worked extensively together in that 17 years, as well as having been really close friends.
Now, what year did this documentary take place?
Well, the documentary was shot over the course of 2001 up until a few months before he died in December of 2002. It was shot in 3 segments. One was the in-store promotional junket that he did for Let's Global A Go-Go, which was the second Joe Strummer and the Mescaleros record. So I interviewed most of the press stuff on that tour, and then later in the fall, the band toured the record across the U.S., which I also filmed. And then a year later, I got an email from Joe, which was extremely unusual because he didn't know how to use the Internet. When he was begging me to come to Japan, saying that they had worked up a crazy version of Iggy's 1969. So when Joe begs you to come to Japan, you go. And I filmed another 10 days there.
Now, it was kind of an odd time in his career. It's kind of a lull there for him, right? But
well, according to his own words, there was an 11-year lull in his career.
Right.
From an outsider's perspective, you have to really take into account all of the work that he had done. He was actually prolific in those 11 years, doing soundtrack work, acting in films, and doing a radio show for the BBC, which was reaching over 40 million people at a time.
But he was no longer in the United States drawing folks the way, if he would have got back together in the Clash, they would have pulled off.
True. You know, I think people were always pining and hinging their wishes on that Clash reunion star, but I don't think that was what was on his mind. He was looking to move forward and keep creating in new ways.
Yeah, he did seem to be very comfortable in his own skin, very okay with the fact that the shows at least weren't selling out or as big as some people wanted to be, or the albums weren't selling as much. What do you think that was all about? Is he didn't really have the normal rock star kind of air about him, right?
Well, I think that's pretty much, you nailed it right there. Joe was never really concerned with celebrity or fame or ego, and therefore he allowed himself to maintain his integrity and humility, and through that his music remained honest. And so for him, it really wasn't about being the the rule of the roost as much as it was about just making great stuff and having people have the chance to listen to it. So I think his focus really was on just getting the music out to the world. And you have to understand, like with Strummer, even though he was a brilliant musician and was able to reach so much around the world with his music, he was also a great proponent of other people's music. So his life kind of was dedicated to turning people on with music, regardless of whether it was his or his friends or somebody that he heard yesterday.
Well, I mean, also from the documentary, the music never left him. There's some really great performances in this documentary.
Yeah.
For you traveling around with them, did you feel like, at least in America, that people got the fact that this was kind of a gift, that the fact to even have the opportunity to get into this guy, were the people there for him? You felt like the people who were in the audience?
The tour across America really did draw a good crowd in most places. I think the only reason that it might not have is because people just weren't aware that there was a Joe Strummer in the Mescaleros. And so really that kind of became the theme of the tour as well as of the film, which is how do we get the word out as an alternate means to these people to let them know that there's some cool stuff happening here. And when there were, the audiences that did show up were diverse. There were older people that were into the Clash as well as the Mescaleros, and younger people too. So they all seemed to know the new songs and the old material. And my bet is that had he lived through the release of the third record, Streetcore, that he probably would have regained that Clash audience and been pretty successful again.
Well, you came up with a good point about people not getting the message because of what was happening. The scene that you shot at the Atlantic City radio station, where he decides just to go into a radio station, and you saw that the guy really didn't know how to put it together, that something cool had happened, and you could see that he's running the programming off the computer. He didn't know how to make the breaks. He has fucking Joe Strummer walk into his room, but it felt like he no longer had, like, the radio didn't have the love of the music anymore.
Yeah, it's a tough sell. The music business in general kind of turned on its head, and whatever corporate control that was going on tightened even more so. And so, as Joe sort of espouses in the movie, in order to find cool stuff, you got to go out there and dig it up. All we're getting is what people are shoving down our throats. Thank God for satellite radio and people like you that are giving us the chance to be turned on, because otherwise it's really about the big dollar and what they want you to listen to and what they want you to buy. So I think that, that whole radio station episode in the film was done quite tongue-in-cheek. I mean, basically we were sitting around at the casino going, what do we do now? The gig isn't for hours and the sound check isn't for hours. How do we get people to show up? And just as a laugh, we decided to show up at that radio station to see what we could do. And the fact that they did in the end know who Strummer was and brought us in and did promote the show is, I think, a testimony to his longevity as a musician,
But, here's the thing that killed me, and I mean, it is everything that I do hate about radio. He's got Joe Strummer in. He realizes there's no way on a Saturday afternoon Joe Strummer should knock at the door, but he doesn't know how not to go into the break. Get fucking fired. You know what I mean? This would be the perfect thing for your radio station, is to shit can that computer for 2 hours and let Joe Strummer play anything all he wanted to play. It's a terrific documentary, and you got a lot of cool stuff in here.
We're talking to Dick Rude. His new DVD is called Let's Rock Again, an intimate portrait of the late Joe Strummer. That's in stores now from Imagine Entertainment.
Dick, is this available everywhere?
Yeah, in fact, I've been getting emails from fans saying, will I be able to get it out here in Decatur, Illinois? All we got is the local Best Buy, and there are no cool fucking record stores. What am I going to do? And so I'm letting people know that you can buy it online at the normal places like Amazon.com. And the good news is that yesterday we got into Best Buy as well. Starting July 18th, it'll actually be spotlighted there. So this is the kind of stuff stuff that I've been working my ass off for, because I picked up where Joe left off. This is the mission to get the word out about the music. So we're doing good on that front. Also, July 5th, we're having screenings in 5 different cities: L.A., San Francisco, New York, Austin, and in Seattle at the Experience Museum. And that will be coordinated with parties at Beauty Bar and is being promoted by Filter Magazine. So I've been working my end to really get the word out. I've got people on MySpace posting clickable banners, and nothing's changed here. You know, we're fighting against $20 million PR budget for movies like Nacho Libre, you know?
Right. Well, you know, it's kind of interesting that you did this with your buddy and you shot it, and then because of the circumstances of losing Joe, that this has turned into a piece of history that we wouldn't have had. You know, it's really odd when you think about it.
Some sort of divine thing happened here, because I started making music documentaries in the year 2000 with people like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Blonde Redhead and Tommy Lee with his new band Methods of Mayhem, and some divine inspiration got me on the track where I ended up making this film with Joe before he died, and being allowed to share his last message with the world was truly a blessing, and certainly a highlight of my life. You know, I don't question it, and I certainly didn't once he died. I knew that really it wasn't about me. The universe was demanding this.
All right, Dick, thanks a lot for being on, buddy.
All right, you guys take care and keep up the good work.
All right, talk to you later.
Thanks, Dick. Right. Dick Rude's new DVD, Let's Rock Again, all about the late Joe Strummer. That is available on Amazon.com. It'll be in Best Buy stores July 18th. And look for special screenings July 5th in L.A., San Francisco, New York, Chicago, and Austin.
Earl, give us some Joe Strummer.
There goes Martin Luther King. Notice how the door closes when the chimes of freedom ring. I hear what you're saying, I hear what he's saying, is what was true now no longer so. I hear what you're saying, I hear what he's saying. You're after getting the honey. Let the summertime sun fall on the apple. Lord, there goes black sheep of the angels riding down the line. We think that there is a soul. We don't know. That soul is hard to find. Down the road. Down the road. If you're out there getting the honey,
You can check out the new DVD, Let's Rock Again, the documentary about Joe Strummer. It's in stores now from director Dick Rude.
Fez, is it a documentary, or would you say it's a rockumentary?
This one must fall into the category of rockumentary.
Look at this. The flooding is so bad. Parts of these towns are just falling away. It's the end times. We are actually living in the end times, if you happen to look at CNN at all anymore.
And it's just all through the Mid-Atlantic. It's Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, D.C.
It's just an entire house went into the river.
Yes, that's what we were talking about.
Fell in there.
Yeah. Yeah, what we need to do is, like, when we say something, that's the end of it. Not you come back in and say the same thing. Why don't you tell us where the documentary, about the DVD, why don't you bring that up again? Just plug what Fez said seconds ago. Give me something new. Give me something I don't know.
Okay, I saw the Superman movie last night.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. 9 out of 10, 2 thumbs up, 1 Dave Rave Gold Star.
All right, now, here's the weird thing. You like every film that you've ever seen. So I worry a little bit with your Dave Rave Gold Star.
When it comes to superhero movies, I am more finicky than other people. And
which superhero movies do you hate?
I despise the Hulk. I despise the one with Affleck in it, Daredevil.
Daredevil you didn't like?
Fucking hated that. I didn't care for the Punisher. I thought it was garbage as well. Just pissed me off how bad. Batman 4 was terrible, a disgrace, and
what was Batman 4? Which one was that?
That was the one with Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman.
Mm-hmm.
And George Clooney as Batman.
Right. And those movies sucked. Superman, wow, unbelievable. I was so inspired. And
we inspired to do what? Fly? Hop out our window.
Just fight crime.
Hop out our window. Go ahead. So you did love it. You are giving it to Dave Rave.
Dave Rave Gold Star, Mr. B.
Boss, Dave is wrong. It was Batman 3 actually with Uma Thurman.
No, that was with Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones. Batman 3. Look it up. Oh, can Team Watley get a point, please?
I don't know. He happens to be on your team. So all I see is Team Watley fighting with each other.
Forgot about that deal that we made.
So you did. Now, it's a little long. It's 2.5 hours. A little too long for you?
I wouldn't say it's long at all. I'd say I would add an action scene.
It's not long enough.
not long enough.
Can't go on forever.
So it let you down a little bit. You wanted more.
In a way, I thought that they could have had maybe 1 or 2 more action sequences that were fucking kick-ass. But besides that, I mean, there are some... Can I give away the ending, perhaps?
No, I wish you wouldn't.
No.
I'll tell you why. 99% of us haven't seen the film.
Why not? It came out yesterday.
Right.
It's the best time.
We're in no hurry. If we were 11, I'm sure we'd be standing in line with you. But we're all adults here.
You know, the best thing about yesterday was seeing it in a packed, auditorium with, everyone was there. It was completely sold out. And someone, of course, brought their baby. And the New York City crowd, it started with shh, because their baby kept talking throughout the entire movie. And be quiet, be quiet. And finally, people were just like, get the fucking kid out of the theater, asshole.
I know. Maybe that was an amusing thing, but would have nothing to do with reviewing the film itself.
Well, all I'm saying is Superman had so much gotten people's emotions intensely, or it had gotten people psyched up that people were screaming.
Sure, because Superman hates babies. Hey, John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
What can we do for you?
Not much. I just want to know which Punisher movie Dave is referring to. The one with Thomas Jane or the one with Dolph Lundgren?
Thomas Jane and John Travolta.
Come on, it was so much better than the friggin' Dolph Lundgren and Louis Gossett.
They both were terrible. Right.
They're not both terrible.
It's
the freaking mind.
Punisher is a dark and just twisted, great comic book, and there was no darkness whatsoever. It was every scene was shot 2:00 in the afternoon in Los Angeles.
Crime doesn't happen in the afternoon.
Why are you looking at Kathleen like somehow she made the film? Let me tell you something. If you're going to stare like that, my friends, you better put a little bass in your voice, because I'll hop right across here and dig your eye out. Fez, it seems like he's taking your point. You used to be the comic book expert. Now it's the Dave Rave Gold Star that we're after. Jay, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Superman movie sucks. They took what was Superman's slogan? Truth, justice, and the American way. They took the American way out of it.
What is it, just truth and justice?
Yes.
And it should be truth and justice, and sometimes America does good.
No, he's more international for this film. You know, he's global. I'm not gonna give away anything. I have a couple spoilers.
Multilateral.
Yeah, no, he goes throughout the entire globe, so that's why the American way.
I see. So the American way has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? Oh. Rock and roll coaster shut down. What the hell's going on, Earl?
A kid died on the roller coaster at Disney in Orlando.
Now, which place is that? That's Disney with the
Disney MGM
with the Hard Rock. Yeah, I guess it is.
And so the Hard Rock has their own roller coaster there in Orlando.
Yeah, I guess they just showed the Hard Rock.
Yeah, I mean they're still getting all the details in.
Here is Steve. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
I just want to begin by saying I'm not an anti-Dave guy. I like Dave, but Dave, you're full of shit, man. That Superman movie was a half hour too long, and he did a good job of doing the Christopher Reeve thing, but it lacked too much action. It lacked a lot of action. Half hour too long.
All right, thank you very much. All right, some of the complaints are coming back now, Dave. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead,
guys,
Mike.
how you doing?
Good.
The Superman movie, it sucked awful. I mean, Dave doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's starting to seem that way. Just when it seemed like Team Watley was going to come up with a win, all of a sudden everything's going against them.
What happened to the Gold Star Dave Rave?
Yeah, here's Bill. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, buddies?
Yeah.
Team Watley -3 points for Dave getting that much airtime.
Yeah, I will. I'd have to take off 3.
-3?
Yeah. -3 is very rough.
Just trying to have a movie corner, you know? I mean, if everyone...
Why is it got to be in a corner? Why can't we just be sitting here like regular people? By corner, do you mean stop everything? Yes, then it has become a corner.
Well, I think I'm the only one on the show who saw it, so I thought I should get the critique out fresh.
I would have loved the critique. Instead, I'm hearing about a baby crying and New Yorkers cursing. What I want to do is hear about the film a little bit. Now, what I didn't understand, Fez, is why anybody thought you needed a Chris Reeve look-alike, or why the Chris Reeve thing was such a big deal. Why not just start fresh there?
Yeah, that's what you should have done. If you're going to go with an unknown, get a whole new fresh take on Superman. That's what I was worried about, that this guy was going to try to act too much like Christopher Reeve.
Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to say that, Dave, you are not finicky at all. You hated all those movies. Well, they all sucked. I bet you hated Jiggly and, what was that? In Ishtar, too.
I didn't care for
Superman
Jiggly.
was just fine. He's not very, what, you didn't like Jiggly?
I didn't care for Jiggly, no.
You're not finicky at all.
Jiggly.
Those were bad movies.
Not Jiggly, you fucking idiot. All right, so here we are, Dave's Rave's Film Corner, and things are not going well. Having problems in the corner.
No, I mean, I also, you know, I wasn't a huge fan of Waterworld and stuff like that, but you can't hold
That's not
that.
a comic book.
No, in terms of comic book movies, this is about the 4th best film. But yeah,
give us the first 3.
The first 3 is Batman Begins.
That's number 1.
Second, Spider-Man 2. And third would be X-Men 1.
No Sin City anywhere in there, girl?
Sin City's number 4, so we got bumped Superman down just 1 notch. But that's it, you know.
So you went and saw the 5th best comic book movie ever yesterday.
But I mean,
that's your Rave Gold Star review.
Yeah. So if anything, it sounds like silver, maybe even copper. Dave, you're on Ron and Fez.
Dave, go ahead, buddy.
Hello, this is Gabe.
Hi, Gabe. Whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to comment on the movie. I didn't like it. I thought Lois Lane was a cunt through the whole thing.
Dave, how was Kate Beckinsale as Lois Lane?
Kate Beckinsale was very good. No, I thought she was adequate. I thought she was adequate. And then you think, well, the rest of the cast, if you're going to talk about the cast, what about Spacey? He was fantastic. And how great was Parker Posey as Kitty?
My worry about it is that, my two things is that this guy was going to be doing a Christopher Reeve impression, which it sounds like it's happening.
Right.
And also that Kevin Spacey was going to play Lex Luthor way too comical.
There's some darkness in Kevin Spacey that takes away from the comedic edges. There's no question about it. Spacey's, over the top-ish, but that's who Kevin Spacey is. Parker Posey was fantastic as Kitty. Oh, you know what? And
she's the Miss Teschmacher of this round of Superman movies.
And I love how they stay with the original theme. Listen to this.
They use this theme music?
I mean, doesn't that just send chills down your spine?
Well, it makes me think of Christopher Reeve.
Nobody is with me on this?
The 2.5 hour pace, over 2.5 hours, did it feel like 2.5 hours, or was one of those movies like, wow, did that much time go by already? Or I'm not really sure.
I felt like I was watching a 15-minute short film, or maybe even an MTV music video. That's how short it was.
Maybe you just walked in late and you just saw the last 15 minutes of it.
No, it was sensational. Oh, what a film. Thank God, Superman's back, too, because we need him. We need him in this post-apocalyptic world that we're living in.
What? The apocalypse has already happened?
There's floods everywhere.
We missed it.
It wouldn't be post-apocalyptic.
Oh.
We're still pre, right? Unless something's happened.
Right. Well, maybe apocalyptic. Or because it seems like the apocalypse is happening right now.
But you're not one of those people. I know that everybody's saying this on TV.
Right.
We needed Superman back. He's not real, right? He can't help us against insurgents or floods.
No, but he can help our morale, Mr. B. You just whenever times get tough, you think of Superman.
No, I don't.
Why not?
Why would I?
Courage.
That's not courage. It's not fucking courage for an alien to come and save you. That sounds like something that a girl would dream for, not an adult male.
Courage.
Well, look, we all have our opinions. Dave Rave Gold Star.
All right, there he goes. Dave Rave Gold Star. Thanks to everybody who came by today, Fezzy.
Anthony Bourdain, his new book, The Nasty Bits. It's in stores now. You can also order it at anthonybourdain.com. Also, Dick Rude, his new documentary, the DVD.
And it's on the life of Joe Strummer. Actually, the final days of Joe Strummer.
Let's Rock Again. That's in stores everywhere from Imagine Entertainment.
Little Lene, thanks for calling in. You can listen to her on thereisnoradio.com. And Kathleen and Bri, happy birthday, Kathleen.
Happy birthday, Kathleen from the Bronx.
Thank you.
That's it for us. We're on vacation starting in just a few moments. So, enjoy some best ofs. Enjoy O&A. We'll see you when we get back. Take care.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.